How's it going, guys? Nutters91 here to give you a lap of the Hungary ring. Quite a technical track, this one. You really want to make sure you nail those turning points. Coming around the final corner here in third gear, you want to flick open the DRS and then use your cursor across the start finish. We're coming down one of the longest DRS straights of the track here, a great opportunity for overtaking. Coming into the first corner here, you want to brake just on the 100-meter boards. The car does want to understeer here. Be patient with it. Clip your apex. You want to open up the DRS before hitting the curves down the hill for the second left-hander. You want to brake just after the 50-meter balls down into second, flick it into first to turn the front of the car in, and then back up to open it up onto this right kink here. You want to use a large portion of your curves to help the car up the hill here, coming up to one of the fastest corners on the left. Flick the car in, downshift once, carrying as much speed as you can. Again, coming into the right-hander, down into second gear, before setting yourself up for one of the most technical parts of the track, braking just after the 50-meter boards down into first gear, right then left, before setting yourself up for this large flowing part of the track, carrying as much speed as you can through these S's. Coming up to the part of the track where your car setup really is crucial. Fifth for the left-hander, absolutely flat out for the right-hander here without running too wide on the exit. Coming up to this right-hander here, braking just on the 100-meter boards down into second before setting yourself up for the penultimate corner, braking just under the Pirelli sign, trail braking through here into second, then into first to get the nose of the car in. Coming up to the final corner here, braking just under the UBS sign. Be patient around this corner, getting on the power as early as you can, opening up the DRS and using whatever curves you have to cross the start finish for a lap of the Hungary ring.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome here to the Excite Racing League, brought to you tonight by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. I'm Pete Marcroft in the box, along with Dan Fisk for the F1 division of this classic league that's going on so far this season. We do apologise, it looks like Channel 2 is not going to be working tonight, so we are here live on Twitch.tv on Channel 1. Good evening from me, Pete Marcroft, and over to Dan Fisk.
Good evening, Pete. It's really good to see as many of you signing in for the night, 18 of you watching the F1 division stream. It proves to be a great race. We've got plenty of new drivers in there, the Paragon 1125 and FCR Senna, as well as our current crop of drivers. I think...
Well, speaking of the Paragon 1125, he's actually out on a lap as we speak now. He's just gone into final sector around about the minute mark, and there into these really annoying hairpin corners, which are not quite like a chicane, well, not far off. Very, very slippy and very easy to drive the car out wide. Pace looks pretty strong, though. Gone very close to the inside wall there for a debut race. Question is, how close to the pit line is he going to be? Set to 1:18.1. Looks like a decent banker, but ex-Lewis Hamilton is on the prime tyres on the actual, in the Red Bull. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pace. He's got all four tyres off, though, at the end of sector 2 there. Got to make sure you don't do that too many times in a race, or you will be seen as gaining an unfair advantage.
I will be watching Emu now, finishing his lap. This isn't a particularly fast one, and he's just set a 19.7 on the primes. Not a very good lap at all. And plenty of people have already gone over. Well, XRL Fearless has gone pole on a 1:18.1, 1,000th quicker than the Paragon.
Ex-Lewis Hamilton's gone P3 on a 1:18.5. And that's on the prime tyres, so that's very strong pace from Hamilton there. The championship contender showing he does have what it takes to be up here at the top of the game. Ex-Jambo's P4 on a 1:18.9 at the moment, and a 1:19.6 from Bobbert is good enough for P5. Matterwall's in P6 on a 1:19.7, also on the prime tyres. And then a confused Emu, as you said before, 1:97 on the primes. He's going to definitely be running again, but it's good to see Emu back. He's been missing for a while, but meanwhile, current championship leader just started his lap, going into turn 2. Well, like he took it a little wide at the entry there, but has managed to gain quite a bit of time on the exit. So he's going to be able to find some pace towards the end here, hovering around the 29-second mark in the sector 1. That looks pretty ballpark to me.
This is looking a decent lap, looking at the reference points. So far, he seems to be up on a decent high to mid-17. If he can keep going, but he gets a little bit wide, gets a little bit of dirt on his tyres.
Through this flowing chicane, it's quite like the S's at Suzuka. It's so easy if you get dirt in your tyres there, you're really going to struggle to find traction. You're seeing quite a lot of marbles on the inside there, and he goes all four tyres off on the edge as well. If people keep doing that, that's definitely something that's going to incur the wrath of the stewards. We know that corner cutting and gaining an advantage going outside the track limits is one of the big things that's being looked out for this year in Excite Racing League. So ice go down, they stay on board on the prime tyres, gets a little wide of the pit wall there. The ultimate driver goes really close to it, but this looks pretty strong at a 1:17.4. Wow, now that is pace.
I've seen him do quicker. But it's really quick, yeah. You're not going to see anyone beat that on a prime tyre.
Let's try and find someone else who's actually out on a lap at the moment. LGS is about to start one. He's on the option tyres here in the McLaren Mercedes. And he's going to be a bit under the cosh, actually. He's not had the greatest performances over the last couple of races. He's always shows a flash to pace, but there always seems to get a bit wrong in the race strategy. So he's going to need to find some extra pace here to really pull himself to near the front in Hungary. So on board now, riding out towards turn 1, getting as much of the DRS out of the way as possible. Here around 190, pretty good, but maybe a few Ks too slow there for the race to be effective. Get a bit wide on the outside of 1 there, heading down towards turn 2, and he's keeping it nice and playing to the middle, but he's missed the apex for quite a way there. Had to get out of the gas. This is not a good start to the lap at all here, especially for an options run where you got the extra grip.
You're on board with LGS, is that right?
I am indeed, yes.
Yeah, I'm
and he's taken off all of a sudden on my screen. Is he lagging?
And then just sort of
I really hope no. That's something we
there.
don't want to see.
I don't think he's going.
Yeah,
that
you got the same thing as I. No, it doesn't look. That's what I thought. It didn't seem that impressive to me either. Into the S's now, gone close to the edges there, pretty good actually. But then pushing on once again, all 4 tyres over the white line. It seems to be one of those tracks this where you can get away with exploiting the limits. See there again. Everyone seems to be doing it at the end of sector 2.
They should be knowing better.
But the thing is, looking at everybody else who's done it, you got like Paragon, the new driver, Ice Cold Andy, the current championship leader, all pushing out there. Yes, at the end of the day, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. But the fact of the matter is, the rules are there enshrined in stone, and you can't be going outside those rules. LGS, meanwhile, splits the beams on a 118.0, going up a P2, but he'll be concerned at that. The deficit to Ice Cold Andy, who's on the harder, slower compound, that should give him some quite nerves in the race.
What I know is Ice Cold Andy's race pace is nothing special. It's not race-winning worthy front pace, I have to admit. It's not, you know... Just
riding on board with new driver Paragon, and he's gone totally off the line at the slow chicane, and then he's pushing very close to the dirt out here. It's one of those tracks in Hungary. It's a very low grip one, and as you can see, going through that corner there, once again, going all 4 tyres wide.
I don't think
if people keep doing that, they will get penalties.
I don't think he's meaning
how can you say you're not meaning it, sir? How can you say that?
When you go
going that far outside the track limit.
Yeah, he's given up.
It's wildly abandoned. How can you say they don't mean it? At the end of the day, they won't be doing it if they weren't gaining anything. Anyone who watched the India race from this season in real life will tell you that.
Oh, sure.
Why else would you do it if you gain no time? Getting in Sean Walker to the stream. Obviously, it's a pity you're not driving anymore, but ex-Lewis Hamilton totally getting it wrong at the end of Sector 1 there. Went totally outside the limits of the track, and that could really cause problems here. Again, as I said, viewers, make you aware, Channel 1 is definitely up. Channel 2, we don't know. It keeps saying streaming, but people are saying it's offline. So, if you can't see anything there, then we do apologise. As ex-Lewis Hamilton once again goes totally outside the track limits. Oh, and then almost drops it completely, downshifting at the wrong time. Very nearly went into the barriers. Very scruffy lap here from the Red Bull driver. Really not displaying his greatest talents here today. Sticking on board with ex-Lewis Hamilton coming into the final penultimate corner. And he's gone very wide there, got dust on the tyres, trying to get a wall of death line towards the wall. But that's compromised his pace there, and this does not look strong. But a 117.9, it's enough to improve, but the question is, how much time was gained by going off the track? XRL fails me orders a 118.0 on the option compound. So the 2 guys in first and second are on the slower compound and the fastest at the moment.
19 signing in for the evening. Good to see you all in. But only a few of you are commenting. Can't sign in for the evening and get some opinions out there. But Lewis Hamilton there really recovering after last week's disappointment at Germany. And a 17.9 on the primes is a very good time. Only Andy's better.
Well, interestingly now, following on board his teammate Confused Emu, who really seems a shell of his former driver skills here. He really doesn't seem to have much pace. And that should be concerning for Emu, because he always put up a good fight here. Obviously against F19, against the likes of Reese 24 when he was still in the league. So it's interesting to see how the pace is differential, but they're going down to 9th place. A 118.8 from Matable down in 9th place. That's only about a second difference between the top 9. In qualifying, you might not have the ultimate pace, but you might well have it over race pace distances. You can't count these guys out yet.
No, you've obviously
Andy's on an outlap.
You got the fantasticness of Andy, and then You know, over 1 lap, there's no one better, but you're looking at all the others, and they are close. I think when...
Well, you have to remember, though, there's been quite a lot of one-lap specialists in real-life F1, the likes of Jarno Trulli, the likes of Mark Webber, and just because they're brilliant in qualifying doesn't necessarily transfer to race pace. So it'll be interesting to see if Andy's got the pace to be able to pull away at the front. Meanwhile, Paragon 1125, new driver here, so go around on board. He's currently going towards the end of Sector 1 on the option tyres again, clearly looking to burn that rubber and stick on the primes. Went very, very wide on the entry to the corner at the end of Sector 1 there. Got dust on his tyres, and that will really compromise him coming up to this very, very slow and flowing chicane section where you really need maximum grip. Pushing as close to the curves as he dares there, but just avoids managing to spin the car out.
Right, well,
it's what I call...
Some of you guys will have seen the messages pop up on my computer, but I can't get the chat box up tonight, so I will be trying to get your comments through on my phone. So I will have the chat box open if you want to put your opinions across, but my computer's not liking anything tonight.
Well, at least your computer's streaming live. I don't even know if mine is at the moment. Well, Paragon 1125 coming into the final hairpin corner now on the option tyres. He's on a 118.1, which really isn't bad pace for Davidson, but he's obviously wanting to crack the 117s, and he gets a 118.008. So close. 8,000ths of a second closer, and he would have been there. LGS, meanwhile, he's back out for another options run, as long as this is actually quite a lot that he's doing here. I'm not sure if he is. Going through the S's section, doing pretty reasonable pace so far, but he needs to find a little bit extra if he wants to ideally be ahead of the debutants, just so if he's not going to be on the pace of the guys on the prize at the start, he might well have the extra pace due to the compound difference earlier on, particularly with the fuel loads. Because on a low-grip track like this, where you've got the heavy fuel load, you need as much grip as possible. I'm surprised a lot more people aren't going for the option tyres myself.
Yeah, the tyre wear is so extreme. Now. Oh, that's decent.
A 117.8 from LGS. That's more a good response there. Splits the two prime runners. If he can get a good start, he could really compromise the likes of Andy and the likes of Lewis Hamilton. So I'll be interested to see what he does. Trying to cycle back through to find someone who's actually on a lap at the moment. Emu's gone out for another run on another set of prime tyres. He really should be switching to the options here to find some pace, because starting down in P7 at a track as tight and twisty as Hungary is not a pleasant place. McLaren did an excellent job of getting out of the way there. That was probably LGS doing a superb job. And Emu, all four tyres over the inside. Has the game cancelled the lap? I think it has. And also there's yellow flags out, interestingly. Has someone stopped on track? What's going on there?
I don't know, it's all gone green again.
Yeah, strange. Very mysterious, that. FCR Senna, meanwhile, he's started a new lap in the Sauber, so go right on board with him.
Yeah,
he's in the option tyres.
We haven't really noticed him so far, so yeah, let's go watch him for a little bit.
He's currently running in P6 on a 118.3. That's only 6/10 off LGS. He's been playing the game in this league for quite some time. So that's a good starting blanco lap from Senna. Question is, can he find more pace here to be able to push on? I'm not quite sure this is an actual lap, though. He seems to be very slow. In fact, I think this is an in-lap. Yeah, strange.
Yeah,
it's definitely got to be an in-lap by the way, so I call it that.
He's on the pace. FCR Centre is definitely on the pace of the guys. You know, there's only maybe 2 or 3
I'd call on his teammate, X-Jambo, is just about to start a lap on the opposite tyres now. He's clearly out in P7, also a 118.3. It seems very, very clustered and congested in the midfield. And for the guys like Andy and the guys like Lewis Hamilton, the thing they want is to drop into this lot on traffic in the race due to their different strategies. So these guys should be nervous if the midfield are very, very close, because the last thing you want to do is get compromised and held up in dirty air. So Jambo, meanwhile, pushing very close to the apex at turn 2 there, and riding the very flat turn 3 very, very well. Heading up down towards the end of sector 1. Pace looks pretty strong here. Goes on the step. Oh, goes totally off the track. Nowhere near the limits there. Might have gained quite a bit of time, but that was extremely scruffy. I think there could be quite a few reprimands going out for the drivers in this race at this point. Into the chicane section now, very fast and flowing if you get the line right, but he got a bit out of shape on the entry there, had to get out the gas and get back on it, and that will have compromised his grip going into this fast flow section, keeps it in the island and then gets a bit of kick on the curb, which pushes him out over the edge. Qualifying time's officially ended. All 4 tyres appear to be over the right-hand curve there from Jambo. This is not a scruffy lap, but it seems to be pretty quick. Right in the inside concrete curve, there's not very much grip there. Not sure why you do that. And into the final corner, trying to get as close to the Armco barrier as he dares. Gets on the gas, stamper curves, moving the DRS, and he splits the beams on 117.7.
That is a good time. Knocks Fearless down a position in the McLaren, and it is a force.
And he's also given up. XRL Bobbert, he's out on the lap on the Williams, so I'll stay on board with him at the moment. Looks pretty scruffy though, going through the very tight chicane at the midpoint of Sector 2. And he seems to have a lot of little limited grip here, going through the fast-flowing chicanes. He doesn't seem to have the confidence. Got all 4 tyres on the dirt there and totally offline. Not even close to the racing line there for Bobbert. I'm not sure why he'd take that line. Fishtail got a little out of shape there going into the corners. Really struggled into the penultimate hairpin. He's got nowhere near the apex. Car got totally out of shape. I think this might get abandoned. No, he's going to finish the B anyway, but this is not impressive at all. I'm not sure he's going to improve here. Oh, a little bit of lag spike, and he's gone over at a 118.4, found half a second. XRL Fearless, meanwhile, last man on track, and he's nowhere into the front. So we'll give you a rundown. We've got the Force Indians on the front row. Ice Cold Andy, and then Jumbo. Third, we've got XRL Fearless. Fourth, we've got XRL LGS. In fifth, we've got X Lewis Hamilton on the prime tyres. He's now compromised. The Paragon 1125 and FCR Centre, 6th and 7th respectively on debut. XRL Bobbers is showing us 8th. Team Attle in 9th, but Confused Emu all the way in 10th. And meanwhile, the Mercedes drivers taking the bizarre option of not qualifying. F1 Nige, championship leader in 11th. XRL Lightning in 12th.
I can see why the Mercedes duo have done that. The tyre wear is so bad. If you conserve your tyres and only do 1 lap on, let's say, the prime tyres and like go 30 miles an hour on your in and out lap, you'll still have about 90%. So, you know,
but even so, a track that's a tight, high downforce and such limited passing places, surely this is the wrong kind of venue for that. You might be able to get away with it as somewhere like Abu Dhabi, where you've got the very long DRS straights. Here, yes, there's 2 DRS zones, but they're both very, very short. And if you start from 11th and 12th, they're going to need Fernando Alonso as starts to really get themselves anywhere near the front. And with the change in strategies as well between the likes of Ice Cold Andy and ex-Lewis Hamilton and that very tightly congested midfield, which all seems to be very, very close on pace, these guys could have a very bad day at the office here and totally change the outlook of the championship.
Channel 2 is up and running, but can you go in there and let them know not to ready up?
Into the race, you mean?
Yeah, go into the game lobby. Just for the new guys, I don't know if they know or not.
No worries.
Right, so hopefully they won't ready up, but let's have a look over the standings again. And it is a Force in your front row from Mr. Ice Cold Andy, who I've seen him do quicker, but a 17.4 is also very, very good lap time. Jambo in P2. XRL Fearless, who's coming in as a reserve driver tonight in the McLaren, has qualified P3 with XRL LGS. That's a McLaren 3 and 4. Red Bull of Lewis Hamilton has performed much better than what he did last week and took P5, and then the 2 debutants of the Paragon and FCR Senna in P6 and 7. XRL Bobberts makes P8, whilst Team Matable and a Confused Emu round off the drivers who have done a lap time. And they're not slow lap times that they've done, it's just the fact that F1 division is that quick. F1 Nige and Lightning, the 2 Mercedes drivers, have not qualified, and that could work in their favour, but time will tell.
I'm not of the opinion that, well, purely because of the fact that it's such a tight, high downforce track with very limited passing places. It's not the kind of place I'd want to be stuck in traffic personally. I'd want instead to be out of the front, controlling the pace and doing what I can to be able to move this forward. So it's a question of what's going to happen next. However, as I say before, strange things have happened. Tyre wear can be quite extreme. So if you're in the best position, getting the pound seats early, you might be able to find yourself in a good position and you might be able to make this work. So again, it's all a matter of how you are as a driver. I do apologise to those people who've turned on to Channel 2. I'm just trying to get the chat box open there. And again, if you are on Channel 1, because Bernie's not able to get access to his chat feed, come onto my channel, put the comments there, and I'll do my best to get your questions and your comments out, and we'll try and go over them during the race then. So, with that in mind, let's try and get ourselves out onto the grid.
I can see the chat now, by the way, but yeah. It is good to get 2 different perspectives on the track, isn't it? So,
Well, definitely. We've seen that from the overtakes of the week. Having that second speed is very, very useful. And for those of you who are actually thinking of trying to join the streaming club, I must say you can get yourself a HD PVR 2. That's the easiest one to use. And it's fantastically easy to set up with Twitch and everything else. And you can have some real fun with that. You can also mess around recording game lobbies and putting those trolls who like to pit everybody off at the first corner up and name them on shame on YouTube. So in the meantime, let's focus on the race. So let's get ourselves out onto the grid then, because the drivers will be impatiently sat there, raring to go. So let's get ourselves to the track. We already said that F19, XRL Lightning, they're going to find themselves compromised at the back of the grid. Ice Cold Andy starts from pole, but he is on the prime tyres. And with that heavy fuel load, he could find it very difficult and very understeery at the start. Can we see the likely let Lewis Hamilton gain the ground? Will XRL LGS manage to split away early on and maybe hold back the pack up? Are the debutants going to get interested in the first thing? Are they experienced 100%? All we know, it's going to be a corker, so stay here and get ready to watch.
Temper 3D and Temper 3D is just signed in. We've got Peachy saying LGS for the win, but we shall see.
To be fair, he is on the option tyres, so under the heavy fuel load with the extra grip, he's a pretty safe bet, but to be honest, I'm not predicting this because too many times I've given out the old commentators. Failed to make the grid here, so we find ourselves at the start of the Hungary. We are down to 11 runners and riders now, courtesy of a confused EMU's loss. We're now going to be waiting for the 5 lights to go out, and once they are done, we will be racing here at the Hungary. Lights out and away they go onto the grid down towards the first corner. Now the question of who's got the best start here. Ice Cold is the well. Jambo's got a magnificent start up into P2. LGS are going to go on the outside down towards turn 1 and it's going to get very tight. LGS going a long way round. Has he made this stick? Has he made some traction on the outside?
He has.
It's a sensational piece of driving, but Ice Cold Andy is stuck with him. He's very, very close indeed. He's not going to make this easy. On the outside to turn 2. There's a bit of contact on the outside there, but LGS is not giving up into turn 3. It's a fast floor, but LGS has not been able to make this work.
LGS unlucky there not to be having the lead, and he used all of his curves to get back that position, and loads of people have gone off wide a bit further back there.
We've already got our Jumbo in P3 now, and behind him XRL Fields and the McLaren is really punishing hard. Lewis Hamilton has managed to retain 5th place in the prize house for the Red Bull, so we've got the guys all getting close together. That was insanely close wheel-to-wheel driving. Massive respect for LGS and Ice Cold Andy there, giving each other just enough room. Ice Cold Andy gets a bit of dust on his tyres there, goes all 4 wheels off, and so does LGS. Behind him, Jumbo takes to the sky. It's all going up, it's crazy here. And meanwhile, Fields flicks him down at the inside there, backs out at the last second, just sees he's not quite got the grip.
Just going to correct you, it's Fearless in P2 and LGS in P4.
You're quite correct. I was just what I could see.
Great start from Fearless.
Unbelievable stuff. Cursor LGS, he's going to try and fight his way back in front. Jambo appears to have responded, though. He's pulling away from LGS, and he's getting very close to the back of XRL Fields. Ice Cold Andy, meanwhile, Vekalask has already got about a 1.5 second gap there. If he can get a few more tenths out of that and control the DRS pace, he's going to find himself in a great position. But further back, there appears to be on-track action there. One of the drivers may have gone off and been passed, trying to cycle to find out who that is. It is very, very close indeed. It's the Mercedes, F19 in P8, and XRL Lightning drives away past XRL Boris in the Williams, looks at his teammate but has to back out. Both Williams now running 8th and 9th. And they're running in relatively clear air here as F19 cuts a bit too close to the inside curb. Nearly gets thrown off the track, but just about hold it together.
Jambo's under severe pressure from LGS, and he's had to take the escape road at the chicane. Has lost 1 position there just
Hamilton nearly went into the back of him.
Lewis Hamilton could have nearly had him there.
Excellent control from Hamilton to avoid the accident. Someone's got off at the back. That might have been XRL Bollets. It's too far off the track of the chicane. And once again, everyone seems to be abusing that extra curb runoff. Well, you're just able to go completely past it. If you're going to keep doing that for the race drivers, you are going to get a rough round, maybe even a penalty. Lewis Hamilton takes a look at the inside of Jambo in towards the second to last corner, but has to back out of it. Team Matterbull, meanwhile, driving in the Sauber and now in 6th place, trying to get onto the back of these guys and try and pull away from the debutants of FCR Senna and the Paragon 1123. Curves used by Lewis Hamilton, still no DRS active at this moment in time. Oh, he thinks about a weight change of direction there, and Jumbo goes a little wide. Oh, we're getting very close to touching wheels now, but Hamilton just gives him enough room. Deploys the curves down towards turn 2, thinking about going round the long way. Going to be very difficult, gets on the anchors, Jumbo drifts a little wide, but avoids hitting him. Very good driving from those two there. Meanwhile, further back, we've got SCR set, I think it's Paragon 1123, under massive pressure now from one of the Mercedes. I think that's F1 Night. Indeed, F1 Night sitting around the outside of turn 4, but has to back out of it. Both drivers go all 4 wheels off. They have no one sticking to the track limits here tonight. This is abusive driving from all people here. F1 Night's going towards the tyre chicane. Can he get a move? No, he's just too far back.
Nigel's done reasonably well to get up as many positions as he has done off the start, but now
Two places on the opening 3 laps.
He's going to be hitting a brick wall now, though, unfortunately.
This is what I predicted before we started to join the grid. He's caught up midfield, and we've seen how close they are. Hamilton, Matable, Paragon, they're all very close on pace, and he's just getting bottled up in that. And of course, he's on the prime tyres with dirty air and a trolley. He's going on the inside of the penultimate hairpin there, but has to back out. Thought he might have forced Paragon into a mistake. Now the question is Paragon DRS on the car ahead of him? F1 Nitro gets a tighter line on the final hairpin. This is looking for a great slingshot, but no DRS to take full advantage. There goes the flap. Paragon's got it. F1 Nice has it. Both guys drifting towards the inside wall. Paragon sticks very close, gives him the wrong room. F196 around the outside, points wide, but he's just not got the traction. Thinks about diving underneath on the curves here. Very intelligent driving from F196. DRS deployed, and that looks safe as houses in towards turn 2. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, he can. Excellent driving.
Intelligent driving from Nige. Just brake nice and early to get the good drive out with the DRS. He's just using the rest of his curves to get away now. So, well, good position gained and well held.
Oh, Hamilton once again going totally off the track at turn 4. I just say, I mean, if the drivers aren't careful, there will be penalties awarded post-race for that. The rules do state that at least 2 wheels have to be inside the white line at all times without exception. And no doubt the stewards will be looking at this footage very closely indeed. Once again he goes off in the following chicanes. He's getting very ragged under the heavy fuel loads and the lack of grip in the prime tyres. Ahead of him, Jambo's starting to pull away, and once again he goes off. That's 3 times in 1 lap. That's inexcusable. And once again he's done it. That time, Matable seized the opportunity for to go around the outside of him, but has had to back out of the move because Hamilton came on at the last second. So very close. Hamilton's really struggling, and indeed Mattable's hit the back of him because he's had so little pace through the final corner. Curves deployed, DRS off open. Hamilton changed direction very, very late there. Nearly sideswiped Mattable, who took very good evasive driving there. But Lewis Hamilton's got to be very careful. This is extremely aggressive. And Mattable's got the inside line. He's going to do the left one nice here. Curves deployed, heading down towards the DRS side. He's got the flap open. Hamilton's going to have the slightly tighter line. And XRL light and F1 nice. Meanwhile, thinks about getting up the inside of Hamilton too. Heading down towards turn 3, but he's just not got the pace at this moment in time. Well, after turn 4, Hamilton. Oh, F1 nice! Steals one! Unbelievable driving there from F1 Nice to steal that from nowhere! The ultimate opportunist! Wonderful driving!
Well, we said it would be quite difficult for him to make positions on the midfield, but he's took 2 in 2 laps, and, you know, I'm sure he'll give Maspel and Jambo a run for their money soon, because they're on the options.
He's not only taken 2 positions, but he's done it through very intelligent and very quick thinking. That pass on Hamilton was ultimate opportunism, totally caught him napping there. No contact, yeah, you could see he may have run him out of room, but F1 Nige was ahead. He was ahead into the corner, and he made the move stick. Meanwhile, Mattable's all over the back of Jambo now. Mattable's really shaking, fishtailing out of the hairpins, and F1 Nice on a 124.0 is showing very strong pace. Evidently those 100% tyres is really giving him something in these early laps.
For him saying that he's been struggling, that's quite good lap times.
How many times have Red Bull say they were struggling in the pre-season tests and then run away at the start? Now, there's 2 words for you. Sand and bagging. That's how it usually works. So meanwhile, Massimo figuring out a move on the inside of Jambo now, but he's just not quite at the traction. And everyone now just got to be careful here, because he doesn't want to get too involved with these guys. Oh, but he's got a big wad of oversteer there, everyone now. I don't know how he corrected that. Unsure if it's luck or if that was genuine driving, but all drivers once again pushing more than they can take on that extra turf there. You can say they're going the long way round, but the fact of the matter is, you're not inside the track. That's unacceptable, especially for the F1 division. I mean, what's your views on the stream? Get on here, Channel 1, Channel 2. Tell us what you think. I'm sure you can get our views either way.
No, just getting a little bit lost of control of the car there and just slightly went wide, but he's keeping
Not as much
much
control loss
tighter
as Mattable, though.
He's keeping much tighter in the sort of limits of the track than some of the others.
It's taken the McNeil to touring cars approach, taking it very, very tight on the line entry. And it's a good way of doing it if you can make it stick, but it also can create understeer if you're not careful. Now, Mattable's under a big pressure here.
Here we go.
Goes very wide in the final corner. F19 just backs out of that. I thought the wheels were going to touch. But Mattable, great response. DRS and Kurz. And even though F19 has got the advantage, he's just not closing up to the back of that Sauber. The last thing that F19 wants now is to be like Hamilton was in the real-life Mercedes, following the Sauber of Hulkenberg at South Korea. In towards turn 2, F19 just not close enough. That DRS zone is very short. And unless you do what Nigel did in the opening laps and manage to get a kind of tighter wide line at first, you're not really going to gain too much time there. So the first DRS zone is critical into turn 4. Both drivers backing out. F19 is going totally off there. Don't know if that's because he brakes so late, but either way, once again breaking the rules.
An air or something. He looks like he got quite slow out of that, if I'm honest. It wasn't a gaining an advantage thing. It was he got quite wide, didn't he? I think it was just an error.
I mean, that's up to the stewards, it's not up to us in the box, but my perspective is it's been happening too much in this race. Now, we've got a bit of a settle down in the midfield, but there's a bit of a duel going on further back. That might be between the two debutant drivers. Paragon 1125 in 8th, and indeed it's XRL Lightning in 9th. Now, there's an interesting position for you. XRL Lightning started one place behind Nigel. Look at their respective position on the track. Lightning won't be impressed by that, but again, at the same time, F19 is going to be stuck in the turbulent air, whereas Lightning is much, much closer. On Channel 2, Jonathan Sanders checking in. How you doing, mate? And he says, I think we'll have to have a look at the driving on the corners closer after the race. I couldn't agree more. Someone's already in the pits. Who's that? Who's in the pits at this time? LGS! LGS has boxed up options onto primes on lap 8. Wow, that was early.
That's extremely early.
Is he planning a 4-stop strategy here? A 5-stop? That seems very, very early indeed.
The thing is, I think undercutting is worth quite a lot here, because it's quite hard to make moves around here. Well, some people have shown it that it isn't, but...
Well, F19 certainly has. Meanwhile, Hamilton once again going totally off the track at turn 4. No, I believe that's Hamilton anyway. Yeah, it is. And we've got the Paragon 1125. He's got lines showing on his options, but doesn't seem to have too much poor grip at the moment. Heading into the chicane, he seems to have more confidence. Hamilton's just really struggled in the race, hasn't he? And Jonathan Saunders says, hey guys, to us in response as well. Hey to you. Again, if you are watching on Channel 1 or Channel 2, get your comments in the box and we'll do our best to read your questions, answer your questions, and also any of the statements you want to make as well. Following on board of F19, it's getting close to the back of Mattable, who has done a great job, very Sauber-esque for real here, of holding up that Mercedes, and this is the one thing F19 did not need. He's already got lines on those prime tyres, and they were 100% through no qualification. How extreme is the tyre wear here at the Hungaroring? From what we're seeing so far, very extreme.
The Paragon's in.
DRS open down, nice, sticks about trying to down the inside, turn 1. But just gets out on the move there, backs out, gets a little too tail happy at the edge of turn 1 there, and as such he's fallen too far behind for DRS to be effective. So he's got another lap of staring at the back of that Sauber, unless he can do a brazen move like he did on Hamilton in towards turn 4 and steal a march. At the moment, I don't see it coming. And strangely, he's deployed all his curves off turn 3. I'd have said at least a quarter for the final corner with the start of DRS. That'd be my strategy as a driver anyway, surely.
That's kind of Smithy tactics, isn't it? Use it all in the first sector kind of approach.
Yeah, but yeah, it is a bit strange though. I wonder why F19 just... Well, F19 said it last week. He said you don't win races by being conservative. Somehow, I don't completely agree.
Let's see where he is. So he's
Meanwhile,
in P5, and no, I think he'll definitely make the move on Mattable soon, because Mattable's tyres will just go.
On the stream here, Motorsport Nerd saying the undercut here is really powerful. Well, that's an interesting perspective from the GP3 driver there. Be interested to see exactly what happens. So, going towards final turn here, no curves left from F19s, and again, we don't know if Mattable's saved any to defend. DRS will definitely be effective though, and I don't see Matt. Oh, we got all our shade there for Nige. He was snaking around like it was a rallycross stage then.
Yeah,
really struggled to keep the car under control.
Team Attle's not got DRS, so line it up here, I think. He's got a little bit
Well,
deep.
F1 Nige is thinking about repeating the move. Oh, but he's got too much tail-happy action at the end of turn 1, and unfortunately, he's been able to break the gap. Disaster for F1 Nige.
It's another lap.
With the way people have been pitting, so far he may get some due. Motorsport Nobel corrects me and says F4. What? Don't you like me saying you're better than you are? What's wrong with that? So in the meantime, F1 Nige going a little wide at turn 4 there, but just manages to keep it on the track better than Mattable. And Mattable going wide again. I think we're going to see him in the box at the end of this lap. But then again, this is the first piece of real tail-happy action we've seen from the Sauber, whereas F1 Nige just really been struggling to keep that car under control.
It's actually pretty spread out at the moment. You've got people like LGS who pitted extremely early. He's going to come into play with a handy, I think.
Quite possible. I mean, it's a question here, because don't forget he started on the opposite tyres, where Ice Could only started on the primes. Now, the question is he going to split his strategy early now, Andy, and try and use the option stints in the middle, or is he going to save it for the end when it's theoretically at its quickest? Who knows? All we can do is watch and wait. Now, in the meantime, Mattable does indeed dive to the box. F1 Nige will breathe a sigh of relief about that, and he almost goes off the track there, Mattable. Totally underestimated the entrance of the pit lane, nearly went into the wall. You don't want to do that. That's like David Coulthard at Adelaide in 1995. Very embarrassing.
Right, so where are we? Team Attle's pitting. He's going for a set of prime tyres. He's going to fall all the way back. LGS is easily through on him now. LGS to go start making some good progress, I think. His lap time, 23.6. How are the lap times looking, actually? We've got 23.5 from Andy being the quickest by 0.06 of a second to LGS.
Well,
very close.
Interestingly, I got a perspective from Nutters91 who's checked in on stream 2. How you doing, Nutters? Welcome to the action. He said that lap 8 is way too early to pit and believes, in his opinion, it's only just about acceptable for a 50% race. Ouch! Well, if that's the case, then we're going to see possibly even 5-stop strategies here, if that's the case, because these guys are nowhere near it. Meanwhile, Mr. Steve on 94 is saying these guys aren't paying much attention to the white lines, slightly disappointing, but it's a tough track. So Steve's sympathising, but at the same time, I do agree with you. You need to stick to the rules, and just because the game doesn't punish you, doesn't mean it's right. Because for those of you who play Forza 4, of course, there's no penalty for smashing a driver off the track. Does it mean you should? No.
Jambo's in, so is Fearless.
Yeah, Jambo goes in the box. F1 Nige will breathe a big sigh of relief now. He's been released, and the question is, where's that going to bring him out in relation to the likes of LGS, the likes of Lewis Hamilton, who started ahead of him? Because LGS now is in P7. Riding on board with him just to see where he comes out after all this, and he's going to come out so far in a net P5, behind the spots like Nige and Hamilton. So he's quite handily placed now, and has got a little bit of clean air, about 2 seconds or so, and he is going to have fresher tyres than Nige, so Nige will find himself under pressure quite quickly here. It'll be interesting to see how the likes of LGS can use that to their advantage. Jonathan Saunders, penalty on you. He says that's why he likes Forza. Right, if you're in any Forza leagues, the next side racing league, you get an automatic minute penalty every time you race.
Right, so where Andy's got a massive lead. I think even if, well, where is LGS? He's P5, isn't he?
Okay, I'm sorry for all you people watching on Channel 2. I've just been told that Channel 2's not working.
Oh, really?
You guys on in the chat box, can you see it? Because XRL Peaches told me it's not working.
Oh, right, it was working just now.
It was working before. I checked it myself when I got the chat box open. But you never know, internet technology can be very temperamental. So we'll have to see what's happening. Like I said, Jonathan, Motorsport, all you guys, if you can see this, please let me know. If you're listening, Peachy, on Channel 1, all I can say is sorry. Meanwhile, LGS has actually got the DRS gap for F1 Nige already, heading now towards turn 1 here. It's got loads more grip. F1 Nige is actually fishtail a bit to the wide line here. Oh, it's lightning even. I thought it was F1 Nige. Well, either way, DRS for all of them. LGS has closed that gap very, very quickly. Oh, lightning chop right across into the outside there, touching the tyres. That was so close. And that line is going to be very careful. A driver has often been called into question for spatial awareness. LGS on the outside to turn 4, but he's gone off the track. He's going to have to let him back through. He cannot keep that position. If he does, that will be a penalty. The precedent was set with Roman Grosjean.
He's going to have to, I know.
He's got to the end of this lap. He's got to give that position back. If LGS does not give that position back, it's extremely likely to be a penalty. He's not slowing down. He's actually pulling away. Very disappointing here from LGS. I'd expect better from him. And needless to say, I don't think this is going to be one where he's got much of an excuse. I know ball with lightning just to see if LGS does the honourable thing and let him back through. If not, the stewards will definitely be investigating. Not that I expect. Oh, lightning's got into the box. Well, that now he's going to compromise everything, surely.
He has not lasted extremely long on a set of tyres that he had 100% from the start.
No, indeed. On the stream, meanwhile, the likes of Nutters and Steve-O and Motorsport Nerds said Channel 2 is fine. So, if you're trying this, Peach, I can only assume you're trying to find it through the Twitch app on Xbox. And just try again for XRL F1 or something, and it might turn up. But it's definitely working according to the guys watching online. Meanwhile, Team Mattermore's now caught up to the back of XRL Fearless, subbing in for Smitty this week in the McLaren, and doing a very good job, actually. He's punching quite a bit above his weight here. And going back to your comment about lightning, I do agree. 14 laps on a pair of primes. 100% no qualifying. I wanted to go to at least lap 20 if I was one of those guys. Probably even longer.
Well, I'm trying to look at where the gap is between LGS and the leader. I'm not sure how much he's going to get an undercut from it. That's going to be quite close, actually, I think.
Yeah.
LGS undercutting, this could work out for him, as I think Andy's in the pits.
Well, that's early as well. On the end of the 14th lap, tyre wear cannot be that extreme. We'll be looking at 5 stops if that's the case. Has that been done before?
I don't know.
I know that Jensen Button's technically done it in Canada with its drive-thrus, but an actual driver stopping that many times, I thought the maximum I've seen is 4.
Right, so he's actually just come out in front of LGS and P3, which is Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, Massimo's going on the inside, and DRS over on Fearless here, heading into turn 1. Then Team Massimo takes the tight line. I think Fearless was hoping to be able to get him back on the DRS here. Indeed, the flap is open on the McLaren, but also the flap is open on the Sauber. And at the same time, he's not going to let him get away. Fearless may have pressured him wide there. Almost touches the back of that diffuser, but Massimo makes the move stick. Absolutely beautiful.
God, we've got a forced injury of Jambo all of a sudden starting to close in on the guys.
Massimo goes wide at turn 4. He's got to be careful of that. And in the meantime, we've got XRPG checking on Channel 2 saying he's got it. Welcome to the feed, you guys watching on Channel 2. On Channel 1, Channel 2, wherever you're watching, get your comments coming through and we'll try and do our best to get through the ones you direct our way. So in the meantime, XRL Fearless closest battle on track at the moment. He's being chased all of a sudden by Ice Cold Andy, I think, in the Force India. As once again, Fearless goes totally off the track.
Jambo's
no, it's Jambo, sorry.
What battle? What is this? More teamatical?
XRL Fearless.
Yeah, this is Jambo and P7.
And at the same time, Jambo's got a lot more confidence, but Jambo switched to the option tyres. Hang on, did he start on the option tyres?
Yes, I thought he did, so he's got an option.
I'm guessing so, he must have been in the box, because someone else is in the pits. Who's that who's just gone in?
Nige?
That's ex-Lewis Hamilton.
No,
he's in on lap 16.
So Lewis Hamilton's made his first stop, and look at the difference an undercut makes. He was fighting reasonably up there. He's going to be 9th, maybe even 10th.
Well, on the stream, Motorsport Nerd called it. He said the undercut is very powerful. If you're watching here in GP2, GP3, F4, F5000, take notes, because evidently the tyre wear is very heavy here on this track.
FCR Senna's currently the driver propping up the rear. He's not doing bad lap times either. It's just, you know, this division is incredibly tight.
Interesting, this Smidlad's just come on my screen. Interesting.
He said he
right,
would be
in the meantime, on the stream, Riotous Tags asked an interesting question, saying, do I think that Codemasters should take the Forza approach and bring in the sticky grass? Well, they kind of already have done that. I mean, if you go on places like Catalonia, if you saw, meanwhile, before I carry on that comment, XRL Fearless fancies him down the inside, and Mattable, oh, they touch wheels! Mattable forcibly defending there, but no damage. Ooh, I got a bit closer comfort. That could have easily resulted in a crash there. Matterable pushing its luck and pushing the boundary of the rules there. Unbelievable.
Just
but back to
missed
the question of the Writer's Tag, meanwhile, is saying a selling stream, do you think you should bring in the sticky grass approach? The problem is, I don't really like sticky grass because the fact is you can get punted or you can have a lock-up and you get punished for it. I mean, on Forza they do it because people try and deliberately take each other's out. Jambo gets Mars by the drive, off the corner of Fearless and gobbles him straight up. No fight whatsoever. But yes, I do think that what Codemasters need to do really is to just like enforce the rules more. And I don't just this sticky grass thing. If you get punted, we've seen that before, where people aren't used to heavy fuel loads, or people are just being idiots. You get penalised for it. Why should you?
It is rather pardon the pun. It is a sticky situation, isn't it? You can't.
Oh.
No, but you know what I mean.
Right, memo for GP2, 10-second penalty for XRL Bernie. Make sure you write that down, LGS, when you watch the stream later. Right, in the meantime, XRL fails to get close to the back of Jambo, who's very close to the back of Matterable, who's also very close to the back of LGS. We got a 4-car duel for third place all of a sudden, viewers. Where did this action come from? Who cares? Let's watch on board. And Matterable got a good drive off the back of LGS there, who's also being followed very tightly by Jambo. Behind the fields has dropped back a little bit, so around the ball with Jambo, who's got a DRS on the back of Matterable, who's looking to get there. LGS goes directed to the inside line. Matterable wants to go around the outside. Can LGS hold it here? Oh, Matterable's forcing his way a long way round. Very clean driving there. Question is, can LGS now have a better chance on back switch back?
Jambo's going to have
no,
a
he can't, so Jambo just too far behind.
Jambo's option tyres must be getting near the end of their life. He did option, so he would appear at about lap 8 or 9, so he's done a good 8
Jambo's taking a look at the back of LGS there at turn 4, who goes off on the exit. Jambo was really hustling the back of that McLaren here. He's not attempting to give this race all out of fight, and why should he? He's doing an excellent job here, and Matterable's driving for Sauber, doing a very respectable job, hanging on to third place at the moment. Meanwhile, XRL Fields is now being dragged onto the back of the diffuser of ex-Jambo because of the hard-fighting style of XRL LGS. These guys aren't making it difficult at all. On the stream, XRL Peachy's asking, do we reckon the game will be produced by someone else in a couple of years' time? I do completely agree with that, as Jambo cuts the corner there. Very naughty boy. I do believe that they are going to lose the licence because, it has to be said, Codemasters have done a mediocre job at best, if not downright poor.
I'm sure there's probably reasons for it, but if they can't see it themselves and say, look, we haven't done a good job here, then...
Jambo thinking about the inside of LGS, but backs out on the move. And oh, XRL Fearless! What a fantastic move on the inside! Where did he come from there? He split the pair of them and found himself running in P3! Wonderful driving by LGS! Oh, he's got lag spike! It looked like he was just about going to do it back on turn 2 and lagged into 4th place the result, but don't take that away from Fearless! Sensational driving there!
It's a shame we didn't take that from Fearless's point of view there. That would have been interesting to see.
I've got Jambo's point of view, it was brilliant.
Yeah, same. You just saw a McLaren sort of dive down the inside and get them both.
In the meantime, I'm not suggesting whether Codemasters will do it. Writer's Tag is saying he doesn't believe they've got enough money to make another game. Ouch. Noah's 91 meanwhile says he doesn't think they'll be able to afford another one soon, maybe in a season or two. Mr. Sneewa, meanwhile, says that the number of purchases says it's probably not worth it for any of the big companies like EA, whilst XRL Peachy is simply saying something I definitely agree with. Back to Studio Liverpool.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Yep.
F1 2006 is calling your name.
Exactly. Studio Liverpool's still going?
If they are, they're making different games. I really don't know. Anyone on the stream, do a quick Google search if you can find out for us. Meanwhile, Jambo's got DRS now on the back of XLGS. Deployed some curves as well. Goes the LGS chops very late there. Almost Schumacher-esque Barrichello. And as a result, Jambo's gone wide and LGS keeps the position. I'm not sure if that was a bit too naughty there from LGS. You need to be very, very careful.
I would say that is on the limits. You know, he's giving him a car width So
yeah, but he's also giving him half a second to respond. Meanwhile, on the stream, Mr. Steve-O's already saying an overtake of the week for XRL Fearless. I think it's a candidate at the very, very least.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, Jonathan Saunders has said EA used to make F1 back in 2000. They actually did. They also made an excellent game called F1 Career Challenge, set between 1999 and 2003. So they can do it, and they have done it before. So who knows? Maybe they will go for the license. I don't know. Moving away from these guys, we do actually have a duel further back. The Paragon, the 1125, on the front from F1 Nige, who's slammed his way past but got all 4 tyres off. As a result of that, so he's going to have to cede the place back, surely.
I didn't think... I'll have to see that again. I have to see that again. I just didn't think...
Both drivers went all 4 tyres off after the corner. That's not allowed. Roman Grosjean's calling. He got a penalty for it at the same track.
I'm going to write that down.
But F1 Nige is not slowing down. The nostalgia's coming out from all you people on Channel 2 here. Notice91 is saying he always was a fan of the Nintendo 64 99 F1 game. I loved that on the Sega Dreamcast. That was absolutely fantastic. F1 World Grand Prix it was called. Absolutely brilliant.
Jambo's getting quite close to, I believe that's LGS for P4.
Oh, sad. Studio XRL Peaches put some sad news. Studio Liverpool folded in 2012. Massive commiserations. I thought they were still going.
2012, so it's quite recent they closed down. I thought...
Yes, 2 years ago.
I thought if they
maybe not even that.
I thought if they folded, it would have been quite close after they got rid of the F1 game.
But in the meantime, now Jambo's fallen away a little bit from the back of LGS here. LGS is definitely getting a little bit of extra life out of these tyres. Maybe Jambo's just hitting that cliff point he touched on before. Because he will have done option, which is an interesting strategy from Jambo. Maybe he's realised you can't do it on 4 stops, so thinks two stints on the options, and then, oh, LGS! Lagged off the track and back on! Ooh. He was very lucky to not get the dreaded 5-second lag there.
Jambo must be just not liking it one bit with the car that's sort of...
Meanwhile, Jambo, DRS open now, and LGS pulls wide very early from LGS. Definitely avoiding repeats of that early defensive driving. LGS stops on the brakes very, very late. The driver's touched under the Jambo's round. Jambo is round, but LGS stops. And as a result of that, I think that's F1 Nige who's gone around the outside of the pair of them. That was Schumacher overtaking in Canada. That very, very similar move.
Well, F1 Nige isn't going to complain. He's now up into P4. Just gifted to him.
LGS will be slamming the steering wheel out of frustration there, and Jambo at the same time won't be happy either.
Well,
both drivers have lost out.
Good thing from LGS is he didn't go on. The positions are kept. Really should have just seen that they were getting a little bit too close. He should have just slowed down a little bit more. He braked incredibly late for that first corner.
Interestingly now, both XRL Fearless and Team Martable have dropped these guys by a considerable distance.
They have. Look at that. They've gone about 5 seconds away.
After Ice Cold Andy, though, he's almost got a sector in his pocket. He's so far in front, it's unreal.
Let's keep an eye on that then. It's about a sector, isn't it?
It's literally about a sector. He's pretty much got a pit stop in his pocket, Ice Cold Andy. I'd say it's his race to lose now.
About 18, 20 seconds.
Oh, meanwhile, at the same time, I think that's XRL Fearless, who's already gone back into the box on lap 22.
You sure that wasn't LGS? Fearless in second.
It could have been LGS, actually. Yeah, it was LGS, sorry. I just said that a moment ago. LGS now. No! He got given a drive-through! He didn't stop!
I can see exactly why he's been given it.
Yeah, but I think we need to investigate that because I'm pretty sure by ceding the place, it means that there's no penalty.
Right, so we've got Fearless and Team Matable. For P2, these two are really close.
Okay, I've just got a very, very strange comment on my stream here from Cradesfish1234. Swishes Crofty, Dennis Martin Brundle, by Hawaii 5-0 is on.
Hawaii.
Hey?
He's watching Hawaii 5-0 on Sky.
Really?
He can't.
You're cutting away from this to watch some ponces go around in Kuwait? What are you doing? You can't catch up TV.
On demand. Sky News on demand. I'm disappointed.
In the words of that show, book 'em, Dano. In the meantime, Lewis Hamilton now getting close to the back of ex-Jumbo now in the Force India. Very, very close to the back here. Very good action. Hamilton really not been able to recover after that shocking first stint, really. Down in P6. He knows he's better than that. And this is the last thing he needs if he's going to keep his championship challenge going here. But DRS lap is definitely open. And Lewis Hamilton's got the chance here. He might be able to get the stamp on Jumbo, especially if the tyres are gone. Going the brakes nice and late there. Lost the late breakers with Hamilton. And he's just side up the inside. Superb overtake there.
Good DRS move, but he braked incredibly late and got it right on the inside. Really good move.
Shades of Jenson Button and Sebastian Buemi, Interlagos 2009 there. Very similar loss to the late breakers. But our closest dual track is now XRL Fearless and Team Matterwell in 3rd and 2nd place respectively. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys keep in these positions after all the pit stops have sorted themselves out. Fearless getting a little out of shape there on the chicane and very, very nearly to the back of the car.
Is that LGS calling me?
I don't know, I've not got your phone.
I can't
So
remember.
in the meantime, while Dan answers his phone, carrying on what's going on, XRL Fearless heading on towards the penultimate corner, trying to get up to the back of Team Martable and give himself a chance to really attack that Salva, getting the DRS there. Lewis Hamilton showed us how it's done, under braking into turn 1. We're almost at quarter distance now. Oh, it's a real endurance race today, this viewers. DRS pop over for XRL Fearless, heading towards the back of Team Martable, trying to push on, trying to get close, but he's just not got the drive in the car. Martable's really dragging that Sauber to places it should not be. Excellent performance. Oh, an interesting comment from Mr. Stevo. Someone said regarding the F1 games, fans are in the minority. To which Stevo simply said, well, the 2008 season was getting 500 million viewers worldwide per race. Yes, that's hardly a minority, but I think what they mean by that, Steve-O, is the fact that, you know, it's like people who buy the games, because apparently F1 2013 has not sold very well. And I can't say I'm surprised, because of the backlash that Codemasters got from 2012. But meanwhile now, this car just suddenly become a free carer, because F1 Nige, the wily old fox, in P4, has caught up to the back of the pair of them. Well, this is interesting. Starting 10th place, is he going to sneak onto the podium and get maximum points that he can? Be interested to see how this unfolds. Nearly goes into the back of XRL Fearless there. Totally gets so much better traction in towards the final corner. F1 Night's deployed all his curves here, so he's not got anything else in the tank to be able to use. But it's a great chance for him now to push on. DRS flat wide open, curves being deployed, heading out towards turn 1. Fearless taking a look at the back of Matterwell, and Fearless and Matterwell's in contact! Unbelievably driving, and F1 Nice goes, thank you very much, our 2nd place. But what was XRL Fearless thinking? Yes, he's let Matterwell through, but look at the gaps of F1 Nice now!
That's just, you know, he should know better.
That was Esteban Gutierrez on Sutro at China from this season. That was unbelievable. Has XRL Fearless lost his front nose as a result of that? I don't think he has. I think he's been lucky. He has. In fact, he's not even showing any end plate damage. How does that work?
Oh, I know. Codemasters know what they're doing. I've just had a message from LGS saying that he can't see lightning on track. Apparently, they're quite close.
Okay. Well, we'll have to try and find out.
Unless LGS has pitted quite recently.
He pitted a few laps ago. He did go in the box. I commented on that. Lap 22, I believe. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton's now all over the back of XRL Fearless. Fearless and Matterwell started falling back through the field all of a sudden. Matterwell's going to be nervous with XRL Fearless behind him after the fracas at turn 1. And XRL Fearless quite wisely goes to the box. I'm going to ride on board here. I want to know if this is a scheduled pit stop or if he's actually going to be getting a drive-through penalty. Get me on board with Fearless, not the guy behind him. And this is another one that's going to have to be investigated after the race, because XRL Fearless has indeed got a drive-through.
That's another way of the penalty system, in my opinion, working. That was a bad thing that Fearless did, and he's been given a penalty by the game. Fair enough. It cost Team Matterwell a lot of time. It cost both of them a lot of time.
But you also have to remember the rules. Our own rules do state if you take a driver off the track and don't cede the place. He ceded the place. So, you know, you can't really say the penalty should stand for that because he might well not be infringing our own rules. That's something for the head stewards to decide there, because that's my 2 cents playing devil's advocate on that one.
Anyway, let's get back onto the action. It's actually starting to break up just a little.
There is a duel though. Lewis Hamilton's getting very close to the back of Team Mattermall. A second, maybe even down to about 7/10 of a second between these guys. So right on board, question is, can Mattermall continue his masterful defensive driving, which he's done so far, and done very, very well.
Oh, Team Mattermall getting into the corner a little bit too early there. And now Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, he has. Now, Hamilton's got thinking about going round the outside. That's a brave move.
Look how much
he's got one of his curves here. DRS flap over curves deployed. Oh, he's got a fantastic toe here. Going up to the inside, coming out towards turn one. Mattermall knows he's there. Gives in the room there, side by side. Hamilton filters by. Oh, they make contact going in. They're still rubbing wheels side by side. Touring car-esque. Lewis Hamilton, once again, they touch their wheels lock. Heading down towards turn two, he's getting too aggressive here. Mattermall fancies a chance on the inside. Hamilton's been forced to the outside. Can Hamilton drive around the inside of three? They made contact. Mattermall's gone off the track. Can Mattermall make it on the inside of turn four? No, Hamilton takes the position. And then goes off the track, which means he should have to cede the place back under the rules. Oh my God, this is too close and crazy to watch.
It's so frustrating because I think everyone's doing it, so you can't penalise people because everyone's
no, you can.
We can do.
No, they did it at Valencia in 2011 when everyone dived into the pits after the safety car without having time to set a delta lap. They give 5-second penalties to pretty much the entire field. Many people said it was pointless because it didn't do anything to the result, but the point was they broke the rules and therefore they got the penalty. Doesn't matter if you have to give 1 penalty or 1,000 penalties. Penalties are penalties. Meanwhile, Mattermall now dives into the box. He's decided enough of these tyres, having been, well, pretty much forced off, you could argue, with Lewis Hamilton there. That's one for the stewards. It's difficult, though. It's up to the stewards to review it. We're only here to collect the information. And Mattermall now is switching tyres, and he's gone on to another set of prime tyres. Coming out, already he's been passed for P4 by, well, not by ex-Lewis Hamilton. Who's that behind him? It's ex-Jambo. Jambo's got in front of him, and has got quite a bit of time. Now, how much of that was caused by the collision with XRL Fearless? Indeed, where's Fearless come out? Nowhere near, apparently, because the Paragon 125 is now behind him.
Fearless is in P7 currently.
He is indeed, so he's a few seconds behind, and Fearless now is being pushed hard by XRL LGS. Both McLaren drivers have been in the wars today, and really not getting close to the real area of the action at all. XRL Pitchy, meanwhile, that's on the stream here. Is 4 stops a good strategy if you drive careful? Definitely. If you can get the tyres to last, anytime you can save a pit stop will work. But the problem is, the tyre wear is so extreme here, I'd imagine that 4 stops is the most likely, but you might be able to take a punt on a 5 if you throw your tyres at the right time.
You and Lee are doing GP2 tomorrow night. 50% round here, not the 100, which is actually, I think it's one of the first 50% of the season, bar Monaco, so...
Yeah, it's a long time. I'll be in the box along with XRL LGS calling the action on Channel 1 for that, so you can all listen there. Hopefully the streams will maintain quality and we won't have any more problems. So all you can find out tomorrow evening about that, of course. And if you are racing in the lower leagues, we hope you've been taking a lot of notes and doing a lot of recon here, because the F1 driver has been showing just what you should and shouldn't be doing.
Exactly. Looking at the pace as well, I think some people in the GP2 division will be very, very confident where they're at.
Right. Well, in the meantime, I need to go and get a quick drink of water and a quick drink of something else.
I bet.
So we'll be back shortly, okay?
Right, so we've got the Paragon...
Back in a few moments, I'll leave you in the caravan.
Okay, right, so we've got the Paragon 1125 we're on board with at the moment, and actually, it's all sort of spread out currently, so we're going to have a quick look at the results or the current situation. Mr. Ice Cold Andy absolutely flying. He's done a 21.1, which is 1.1 seconds quicker than F1 Nigel on the prime tyres. Lewis Hamilton's in P3 with Jambo and P4. Team Mattermall with that incident with Fearless has just pushed him down a couple of positions to P5 with the Paragon, and then Fearless after his penalty in P7. LGS is in P8, who's now away from Lightning, who's made his stop into P9. XRL Boberts is in 10th, and we've got FCR Senna, who's on his debut, the only driver who's yet to score a point. It's a shame that Emu has disconnected, but what's the gap between some of these guys? We've got FCR Senna now. These look reasonably new tyres, and he is currently in P11, about 5 seconds behind our 10th place driver, XRL Boberts. I'm going the wrong way, right, so Boberts in P10, P9 is Lightning, who's just made his stop, so lap time seemed to be decent for Lightning. I knew he was struggling at the start this week, but he's just set a PB of a 22.5. Decent lap time there. Riser's Tag says, am I confident about tomorrow's race? Very. Judging by tonight's pace, and converting that to 50% race distance, I feel like I could have put myself second or third tonight out there. I seem to have quite a good race pace, so you may be able to look out for me near the front for once, which would be nice. I haven't been up there for a little while. But Fearless in P7, he'll be someone I'm racing with tomorrow, and he's been quite decent tonight. This is all good recon work for him to get himself the perfect setup and the perfect chance tomorrow night. Pete sounds like he's back, and Pete, it's just sort of calmed down at the moment since you left.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. Chose the right time to take a break then.
Exactly.
We got someone in the pits actually. Who's that? Is Dad in the box?
That will be P2. Is that Nige?
Could be. Let's take a look. Give me the person in the box.
It is Nige. He's gone onto the option tyres, and will he get
He's come out very close to X-Jumbo here.
No, that's Team Attical. He's just got ahead of Team
Attical,
Attical, yeah.
He's just got out clear of him. Very, very close there. And he needed that. He didn't want to be held up by the slower driving Sauber, because he's been doing very well with Matterbull.
Yeah.
Despite the fact he's been hit off the track twice, he's still been able to find the pace and be able to push on.
I have to say, Team Attical's done a good race today. He's had a good bounce-back performance after last week, where I think he didn't quite get it right at the Nürburgring. He's much better today. And, you know, he's fighting for good double-figure points. He's been a really good driver since he's come into the league. It's made the midfield pack with him, the Paragon, and FCR Senna. I think those three are going to make this mid-pack a lot more competitive. Which would be nice for the league overall. Interesting, I've grabbed myself a bottle of beer, get me through the rest of the evening. It's always nice. Riser's Tag, if you want a whoop ass on FIFA, I'm happy to give it to you after this race.
That sounds like a whole different lifestyle choice.
Right. Pete, we've got... thanks to everyone watching the stream yet again. 18 people viewing it on channel 1.
Lewis Hamilton's in the box now. Yeah, I don't know what I've got on the channel too. I've got a lot of people commenting, so I assume I've got a handful at least. Lewis Hamilton's now in the box. He's also gone to the option tyres, interestingly. He's going to come out the way behind Team Matterbull. And the question is, who's he going to come...
He's going to keep falling back. He might even be P7. He is going to be P7.
Yeah, he's getting very close here. Is that XRL? Yes. I think it might be. Heading towards the final corner. LGS fancy his chances here. DRS may be available. Yes, it is. DRS slots open. LGS Fearless, sorry, man. I can never tell these cars apart without going back here. And at the same time, Fearless just not close enough to affect the pass. As these tyres are cold, though, Hamilton might well be vulnerable.
Definitely. Looking at it, Fearless is going to have his work cut out to make that move stick now, though. Because of the nature of the track and the tyre wear, I think the tyres get up to hit.
Exactly, you got the tyre wear, you got the tyre temperature, and it's also the fact that he's on the softer compound. Once you're on the softer compound, you're much able to get that power down nice and early. You've got more traction in the middle part of the corner, and that'll give you a chance to pull away. I mean, look at the distance through the S's so far. Going through the chicanes has already opened about half a second there. But again, gone off the track, all four wheels. The stewards are going to be busy reviewing the footage after this race, I'm sure of it.
I think it's going to be a pretty straight up forward one. Every driver we've seen tonight has just took it too far. It's just, you know, it's very pointless. It's sort of pointless. People need to know that they get the penalties, but maybe, you know, that's why we've got an XRL licence in place. Everyone can just get a point if they want it.
Well, I mean, the key thing is, you can argue whether it's going to make any difference to the result or not. The fact is, these guys. That was off the track. I just saw the dot was missing.
Yeah, that's right. Trying to get there now. I probably can't remember where it is. I think it was.
That was F1 Nige. F1 Nige went off the track.
Got no wing.
And has got junk all over his tyres. he's got a wing on my screen.
Has he? Oh, mine's invisible. Oh, that's good.
Actually, no, he mustn't have a wing because he's driving very, very slowly, trying to defend against the Ferrari who just goes right round the outside of him at turn 4 there. That was the Paragon number 125. Indeed, F19 just made a critical mistake. Lewis Hamilton has now passed him. Now, there is one possible silver lining from this. He will be able to go to 2 sets of prime tyres now towards the end of the race. He might want to take himself out in the interim, but he might have given himself a march on the rest of the field here because he's got the option stint out of the way very, very quickly.
I don't think Nigel will sit that way.
No, he won't at the moment. When a driver makes a mistake, I don't know, they're too busy slapping the steering wheel, making all kinds of insults and curse words. But when you look at it more strategically, we're only just coming up to the half-race distance. 2 pit stops on the primes. That's only about 17 laps apiece. That's not hard.
No, that will get there.
So there we go. So he's not out. He's not out of the race yet. He's not out of the race by any stretch of imagination. He's now made the box. As XRL LGS in P8 is under pressure from XRL Lightning and the other Mercedes, they both fly past F19, who's going to be angered to see those dots going by on the stream here. And meanwhile, we haven't got an even closer duel. I think that's the Paragon 125. And the other car, that's him and Lewis Hamilton. They're both very close together all of a sudden.
So even FCR has got through, so Nige has come out, I think, 1 from last. Or no, he's come out last.
Well, at the end of the day, Johnson Button won from last with only half a race distance to go. Anything is possible in Formula 1. Meantime, on the stream, XRL Peachy has just asked what penalties are we going to give if there are any. Well, in the rules, I believe that if you seem to be excessively cutting corners, you can get, I think it's up to a 20-second penalty and points on your licence. But it is at the discretion of the head stewards at the end of the day. But don't forget, we have seen drivers disqualified for excessive corner cutting. And if it turns out that half of the field have been respecting the rules, what's to say that half the field won't get disqualified? Now that would change the order.
It would. Yeah, let's get back up forwards this battle at the for about P5.
Well, LGS and XRL Lightning are now the closest cars on track. I think that's because the Paragon's just far away from the back of Hamilton. So XRL Lightning is holding the torch for the Mercedes team here. DRS flap open, curves deployed. No defensive strike from XRL. Oh, Lightning hits the back of LGS there. I don't know why he didn't pull out sooner. And LGS's car seems to be making big collision there! Absolutely gigantic collision! And XRL Lightning is almost pushed off the track!
Well, it's like LGS just, when he spoke on the phone to me, he can't see Lightning on track. He can't see him. So, they're guessing. It's all guesswork. You know, that's why it looks quite bad if that's the case.
If you want more reason, viewers, why you should have anything that can record your race, whether it's a high-definition PDR like me and Dan have got, or if it's literally just your iPhone resting on a book. Whatever it is, if you can record video footage, record it. Because if there's any time that it will get you out of jail, it's when this kind of stuff happens. So what Motorsport Nerd is saying on the stream, it does sound like that, yeah. Motorsport Nerd on the stream is saying, remember Hamilton at 08 at Monaco, punching his lap on lap 7 and it won in the race. Exactly, good example.
Get some practicing out of this. I'm really enjoying the practicing at the moment, which is...
XRL Lightning is going to fancy another go at XRL LGS here. LGS takes the tighter line at the inside of the final corner. XRL Lightning just a little wider. DRS, curves, pushing on. And he's, once again, he's chopped so late from XRL LGS. That definitely weighs weight to the view that they're guessing where they are. And LGS now, he's pushing into the back of Lightning. He's almost hit him off the track, but Lightning gets the move done.
Finally, hopefully, those two can get away from each other out on the track and avoid the lag.
Well, it looks like XRL Lightning's already doing that. He's opened up a gap by about half a second already. If he keeps that kind of pace going, he's going to drop LGS like a sack of potatoes. In the meantime, moving further forward, we've got XRL Fearless all over the back of Paragon 125. Fearless is suddenly clawing his way back up the field, dragging that McLaren, trying to get the places back after the mistakes he's made. Both he and Paragon pushing the track limits again too wide. And ahead of these, we've got another duel on the track, which looks like it's a P3. Indeed it is. It's P3, P2. We've got Team Massable all over the back of ex-Jambo. These two have really punched it up the weight today. Jambo getting on the front row of the grid and staying there, and Massable dragging his way up the field. Massable faster away, breaking move into turn 1. This is brave stuff. The drivers touch wheels. Massable gets slightly worse section as a result of that. DRS flap open, curse deployed, but down towards turn 2, he's just not got the distance to affect the pass. XRL Peachy is saying you could do a license system with points if people disrespect the rules after a certain accumulation, but they could be given a penalty and a ban. We already do. It's called the XRL license. XRL Fearless getting a good runner here at the back of Paragon, number 125. Oh, he touches the back of that Ferrari. He's just got so much more pace than the McLaren. Trying to get as close as he can into the chicane here, but he's just not close enough to get that move done. Where are you at the moment on track, Dan? Okay, I apologise for you, but I can't hear my co-commentator. Oh, well, I assume he's gone away from the computer. But in the meantime, right up above XRL Fearless, coming out to the back of Paragon, number 125. Going a little wide there, XRL Fearless, pushing the outside of the envelope and the track limit a bit too much into the final corner. He's got quite a bit of his DRS and curves available. There goes the flat, there goes the bar of the curves. Question is, can he affect the pass on the Ferrari? Paragon, the debutant, he pulls out to the left, tries to get as close as he can. Oh, he's getting very close to turn 1. XRL Fearless turns in. Paragon gives him plenty of room, and that's a very nice pass there by XRL Fearless. Meanwhile, Peach is saying, sorry, that's inexperienced. No worries at all, just making out for all you people in the league out there who aren't aware the XRL license system does exist, and if you're not aware, you really need to get on the forum and read the rules and regulations, because unfortunately, as they say with the law, with anything like being over the limit on alcohol, ignorance is not an excuse.
I was just speaking to LGS on the phone. He can't see him at all. I'll just let him know that no one's near him now and he just drives as normal.
Right, well in the meantime, Team Massable all over the back of X-Channel. Both drivers going too deep there at the end of Sector 2 into Sector 3. And Team Massable's got a better line into the first of the hairpins, but he's just got so little control on the outside, too little traction. And as a result of that, heading out now to the final pit straight here, quite a lot of his cars available. DRS flap now open. But XRL Jambo is just, oh look at that effective speed there. Team Massable, is he going to be able to get the car stopped in time? He's on the inside, drifting now a bit wide. Jambo might have the tighter line through an F1 nice here, but Team Massable gets brilliant traction off the corner to pull away. Meanwhile, if you are watching on Channel 2, or even if you're watching on Channel 1, Jonathan Saunders has kindly put a link in the chat box if you're not aware of the rules. Just go and check it and see what you can see. So, moving back through the field, now that Jambo has released, albeit unwittingly, the Team Massable Sauber, see if anybody else is close to each other on track. Doesn't look like there's any other real battles going on track at the moment.
There is a little bit of one a bit further down the road in the first sector, going about... Yeah,
we have. We've got SCR Senna being chased by F1 Nige, who after that wing loss is down in P10. He's going to be seething under that helmet. This is not what he needed. Once again, SCR Senna going off the track here. They take a shot every time it happens now, viewers, because it's getting crazy.
Nige has actually done a really good lap time. It's just
but you don't get points for fastest lap.
You know,
this is not IndyCar.
If he qualified, he would have kept Andy on a more even keel. You know.
Well, that's the thing. You know, that's the risk you take. You know, F1 Nice, though, great traction off the corner there. Looking to get on the inside of SCR Senna. Ooh, that was a bit close to the limit. And he's letting back through there, F1 Nice. He's obviously learned his lesson from Britain, not want to take any chances. Very good driving from F1 Nige there. And now the question is he going to be close enough to offensive? Oh, he's him on the inside!
Yeah.
The final hairpin! Wow!
He gets a deal, and that will help pull away, refresh of the curves, but he doesn't even need it.
Absolutely sensational overtake there. Meanwhile, up ahead, I believe that is Team Massable trying to get onto the back Oh, there's Bubba, sorry, Lukasama. Looking to try and get on the back of the Ferrari being driven by Paragon 1125 and XRL Roberts. He's just not close enough to make the pass stick. Oh, it's punching back up again. Now, in the meantime, I've been asked by Sean Bean to ask you, Dan, are you doing practice after the race?
I will be doing a little bit, and then I'll be playing FIFA with Riotous Tag. So I will do some practice from about 10:15 till 11:15, and then play a couple of games.
Riotous Tag, do not undermine my authority. In GP2, you do not get a point for fastest lap. The rules apply for all divisions equally. And F19, he's really finding the pace of us. He's on the back of Bubba's here. And he's going to try and have a go down to this corner, and he's just gone straight through. Absolutely sensational.
And Roberts is in.
Maybe that's why he didn't put on much of a fight, but even... Oh, he's at the wall! He's done a David and then went back into the pit lane. What's going on here tonight? Really? We've already...
No. Is that Andy coming into the pits, or Andy's just been in the pits, I think? No.
That was Bobberts, wasn't it? He was in the pits.
I'd said the Force India pit crew out as well.
I wonder if Crash Jambo's gone into the pits.
Looks like
Most runners saying apparently in real life GP2 you do get points for fastest lap. Well, this is not a GP2 game, so therefore the rules apply. That's my point. So in the meantime, Shambo, that's still out on track, so I'm guessing it was Ice Cold Andy. Has he got that much of a lead? He's been able to pit and still stay miles ahead. It won't surprise me.
That situation, isn't it, at the moment, where he's mighty, and if none of the right people can get themselves in the right qualification position.
My! Ice Cold Andy has just gone through the chicane in the middle of Sector 2. Team Mattermore's only just crossed the line.
Yeah,
that's a good
40 seconds.
That's a 42-second gap. Holy mother of God! That's incredible pace. Hey, Ice Cold Andy's race pace isn't that special. You were saying?
It's not that special on the heavy fuel, I should have said, but it actually was better than
here we go. Here comes the backpedaling now, viewers. What's the next excuse?
Shall I dig myself a hole?
Oh, XRL Lighting! Looks like he may have found the way past Paragon the 125, but he's fighting back into turn 2, and Paragon the 125 makes the move stick! XRL Lighting's all over the back of the diffuser, but he's going to have to sit behind the Ferrari for some time now. Great driving from the debutants to take 6th place.
I'm a big fan of this new driver. I think he'll do well for the league. I think you'll see him possibly getting a few podiums this year. Hungary's not the best track for many, but he's showing a good amount of pace.
On the stream, Jonathan Saunders is saying, you just got owned, Dan. In the meantime, XRL Lightning's actually falling away quite quickly from Paragon. Paragon, now he's found his way through, has really put the hammer down. I'd say that's at least 2 seconds he's pulled out in one sector. I get the feeling XRL Lightning could be going straight into the box straight away. I mean, Sean Bean's laughing at my voice and it goes high pitch. I'm surprised it can go high pitch with how old I am these days, to be honest. In the meantime, Motorsport Nerd being, not Motorsport, XRL Lightning even, being chased by his teammate F19 who goes through at the final corner as XRL Lightning dives into the pits. So that's going to be him released.
So we'll expect F19 to probably pit in about 7-8 laps time for his final
Well,
stop.
he went in on lap 35. I probably expected to be in for about lap 51 at the earliest. Ideally, he'd want to stay out to about lap 53 to give himself a small stint on those tyres at the end, when he can really push hard.
Yeah, exactly. So, Nige might yet get a decent position out of today. Just a shame. I think P2 was definitely in his grasp today, and I think if he started...
the thing is, though, he had that. He might have had that wing damage not long after he pitted, but he got the lesser durable tyre out of the way very quickly. But meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton all of a sudden lost all pace and power and stopped at one of the corners. I wonder if he had a controller disconnection or something, because he seemed to just stop on track.
I swear he had that last week as well.
X-Jumbo has gone into the box, so he's gone in now. So that releases Lewis Hamilton. He's going to get the hammer down to try and jump that Force India, but it's going to take a lot of effort. I'm being asked by Jonathan Saunders, how old am I? I'm actually at the merry old age of 31. And that was Team Massable in the box, actually, not X-Jumbo. I do apologise. I think X-Jumbo's just gone through now into P3.
Right, so Senna is currently in P9, probably the highest he's ran this race, to be fair, on his debut. And he's got about a 10-second lead to Lightning, who's fighting with Bobbert for the final points position. And Bobbert's has got DRS here.
I'm cycling back to try and get that. You're on board,
quick
though.
Enough. He's going to try and make the move around the outside. No, Lightning's
No, I think he was aiming for the switchback there, but XRL Lightning very craftily put the car at an angle, and there's nothing to stop him doing that. That's very similar to the kind of driving that the likes of Nico Hulkenberg and Fernando Alonso have used to defend when they've been the slower car. So very good driving there. Bobberts is fighting. He's still got a chance to sneak in a point, and he'll be moving things forward. On the stream, Jonathan Son is saying that's not all, just middle. I don't think of myself as middle-aged. I'm not planning to kick the bucket at 62. I'm planning to go much longer than that, matey. So in the middle time, XRL Bobberts getting close to the back of XRL Lightning, going through the chicane. But again, he's just losing the pace in the chicane section here. I don't think he's got the aerodynamic grip. Yeah, it's turbulent air, and also I just don't think he's got as much aerodynamic grip.
It's been a little bit of lag issues tonight. It'd be interesting to see post-race what these guys think about the lag, because
it's been difficult to watch, hasn't it? There's been a lot of jumping, a lot of cars going up in the air, almost like monster trucks in many ways. It's been quite bizarre to watch it sometimes.
Lewis Hamilton's currently in P2. He must need to pit quite soon. Jambo's in P3. So that means
F19, meanwhile, has made a mistake. He's got marbles all over his tyres, and I think he's just lost out to XRL Fearless. Because F19 is now down in P7.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get on board with Nige. I'm sure he'll start to close that gap to Fearless.
XRL Fearless.
Yeah.
But once again, exploiting the track limits on the outside. And we've seen this so much tonight. As I say, if you are watching this in the lower divisions, be warned, there will be penalties. We're not saying what they are because it's up to the stewards. But if you are doing that, you will get penalties. Simple as that.
I haven't really done that much practice in terms of race, but, you know, sometimes you go off just because you're pushing too hard and, you know, the car doesn't have the grip. But then you definitely know if someone's doing that a lot, then it's more gaining an advantage. I have to admit, I don't have that many problems driving the car around here, going wide like that.
No.
I don't have them issues. I run wide sometimes, yes, but not.
Nige is in the box. On lap 46, that's 12 laps.
Oh dear, oh dear.
How's he only got 12 laps out of the prime tyre? What the hell? How's he done that? Oh, he's retired. F19 has given up. Well, why? I mean, he was in the position to get one final stop and at least score points. We need to get him in here. We need to find out. He's done the right thing. He's retired in the pit lane. Why is he retired? XRL Lightning, meanwhile, has got Bobberts right all over the back of him. And meanwhile, it's Jambo looking on the inside of XRL Bobberts. Oh, it's Ice Cold Andy, sorry, lapping. And as a result of that, Lightning's had to get out of the way. Now, can Bobberts steal the man? Oh! Contact between Lightning and XRL and Ice Cold Andy there, as he was letting Ice Cold Andy through. Oh dear! And Bobberts now has hit Lightning as well! It's got very messy as that Ice Cold Andy's lapped the pair of them, and it's totally thrown their races and their rhythm out of Kinter! Unbelievable! F19, we saw you retire in the pit lane. What was your reason for the retirement?
I can't concentrate, and I'm all over the track, and I ended up taking some guy off, going for an overtake, locking up, and quite frankly, my driving was appalling.
Well, I mean, you were also on
was that with
to
the
score
broken
a few
wing?
points.
Was that what happened with the broken wing?
No, that was me going out of shape out of turn 1 and hitting the barrier, but that's the level that I was driving at today. I just can't.
The pace was good at times.
Yeah, the pace was strong. But also, Nige, I mean, you did seem, I mean, you were at the lower end of the points, and when the wing happened, it looked to me like you were in position for a final 2 stints there on the prime tyres. I just thought you might have been able to hang on and maybe snatch the odd point, trying to minimise the damage to Ice Cold Andy, who's currently out front by quite some distance.
It would have been a 4-stop anyway, because I started on the prime, so I had to end on 2 stint options. So the tyres were working.
Was the tyre wear that bad?
Yeah, it was a 4-stop for me, definitely.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's obviously going to be a tough race for those guys who haven't raced here yet. Obviously, we are going on to Spa from here. Do you reckon you're going to have a bit of upturn in form there on the classic tracks?
It'd be better for me, because Silverstone was good and Spa's quite similar, so I'm hoping for the same sort of form as Silverstone. But in Germany and today I never had the pace. Last week I got lucky, and Christ knows how I won, but today was awful. I've never driven so badly.
Well, I mean, the main thing is that obviously you've took part, you competed. Who knows, depending on any other incidents, you may still qualify for points. Well, nothing's decided, results are always provisional, but in the meantime, thank you for your time, and better luck next time out of Spa.
Thank you.
Well, before we were joined there by F1 Nigel in the box for his comments, I do have a comment that I have to read out from Rioters for pure laziness. We were talking about cars taking off and bumping around. His response is, well, Red Bull does give you wings. I mean, is that an automatic 30-second penalty for Rioters back in this race? It's almost bad enough to deserve it.
Every time he luckily beats me at FIFA, it should be 30 seconds. So he's already got a 1.5 minute penalty for next race by the sounds of it.
Ow!
Don't turn up.
Are you trying to manipulate the results for your favour here, Bernie?
No. What was I going to say about Nige? I think Nige's situation today may have been helped if he qualified, if I'm honest. No,
I agree with you. At the end of the day, if he'd qualified, he probably wouldn't have been closest in the middle of those guys and had the accidents. But even so, as I said, you know, he says, oh, we'd have to finish on 2 set of options. Why? He'd already got the option tyre out of the way, so he didn't need to run it again. He'd run both tyres. Why not just run 2 sets of primes? He obviously had the pace because he was running in P2 at one point. You don't go from 10th to 2nd by being appalling. I think he's been far too critical of himself there and really cost himself. Oh, meanwhile, there's a possible move on the actual main pitch straight here, and that was LGS being lapped, I believe, by Ice Cold Andy. That's got to sting. Well, Sean Bean's saying that apparently he didn't realise I was friends with someone on Xbox. I'll be honest, mate, I added loads of friends from the F1 2011 days, and half of the time they don't say anything to me. So I don't really know if you can really say the friends, to be honest. I think I need to update my friends list and call the ones who don't chat to me too much. But on the side, we do have a bit of battle going on here. Lewis Hamilton in the Red Bull is now only about 1 second behind the Paragon number 125, who's battling very strongly for this debut race, up in P4, and Hungary, not the best place to make a debut at all, really.
No, but he's doing a decent job, and you know, I sort of knew that when he contacted me about wanting to race.
Definitely, mate. It's good to see that the new drivers coming in and perform. We saw that in the lower leagues and the likes of Nikita, but it's great to see the guys who come into F1 and do that as well. We obviously saw Ice Cold Andy. We've seen it in the past in the likes of EMU and Tuppers, but when he was back in his first season, you know, these guys do come in and do have pace. And we're hoping that more of the drivers will join. Interestingly, Hamilton is right close behind Paragon number 125, but his DRS is not open. Has he got a DRS failure? Definitely not a place where you want to be doing that. Not good at all. But Lewis Hamilton's thinking about chinking the inside of turn 4. Oh, he wisely backs out of that. It's very difficult to get traction there, to get around the outside or the inside of one of the cars at that point. Well, that's Lewis Hamilton, still trying to get close to the back of Paragon number 125. He is again the closest battle on track at the moment, so we'll stick with these guys. Battle for 5th and 4th. Of course, you are watching us here tonight live on Twitch.tv on Channel 1 or Channel 2. You can be watching it either through the computer on the internet, or you might be watching us on the app directly through the Xbox. All coverage tonight brought to you by GTO Mega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. And also there's still positions for XRL Premium memberships available. Get yourself a chance to some extra prizes and many other things throughout the season. Now in the meantime, DRS available, but he's not able to use it. Hamilton's definitely not got that working. But oh, well, Paragon seemed to move twice there. moving back towards the racing line, but Hamilton wisely saw it coming, committed to the outside. Is he going to get the drive here? Oh, this is going to be braced up. DRS not available, he's using the curves. And I hit the wrong button and got away from the action.
Oh, well, he's going to just make the move. He had the inside corner at the hairpin, so he's just got out in front. He's giving the Paragon plenty of room, going through the quick sweeper, but he's kept the position and, yeah, good move.
But Paragon's fighting really hard here, going for turn 4. He's not giving up. And it seems to me that Paragon's got more speed in the high-speed corners. Whereas the Lewis Hamilton seems better under the air. Oh, but Paragon clipped the inside curve, very nearly spun the car out there, and that's now brought it into the clutches of XRL Fearless and the McLaren. Just about to say that, who's now all over the back of him. Well, Paragon learning a crucial thing there. If you get past, you can't let the blood rush to your head, because that's when you're most vulnerable to make a mistake.
I think we've got a little bit of battle further up the pack. This was going to be for P2 and 3. Between Team Atable and Jambo, I'm guessing it is. And they're going down to turn 1. Team Atable with the DRS. Just backs out.
Jambo plants his car right in the middle of the corner and the line there. But what grip that Matable found, taking the slightly wider, almost karting line, going down towards turn 2, flaps open. He's short closer to make a damn dare move there. Matable very wise and fighting to keep this podium position. And it's an excellent job from Matable and Jambo. These guys don't usually get the chance to shine this far up the grid, but they're doing an excellent job here tonight.
I think that's the thing with Hungary, because of the tight nature of the track and the hardness to make an overtaking move, it brings slightly different results than what you'd normally get. Obviously Ice Cold Andy isn't, but Jambo's much harder than what you'd usually expect him by 2 or 3 positions. Team Atable, in the short time he's been in the league, has shown that he's about 3rd to 5th, so he's doing that again. Getting 18 points here would be very, very good for him, so he's going to be sure to keep pushing Jambo right to the end.
Well, it's a question of tyre wear here, because of course, I think they're both on the option tyres, because Matable is, looking at Jambo's car, he's also on the option tyres. Both guys are going to have to stop here. Now, it's a question of who's going to blink first and try and get the undercut. Also, Matable's used too little of his curves. He's barely going to have... Yes, he had some left over. He could have used more curves then.
Getting close, he's going to go down the inside.
Matable's going to the inside. This is going to be close. Can he get the car stopped? Going into the final corner. Oh, it's very, very tight here. But he's been able to fight there. Jambo does a little bit of a wheelie, almost like he's driving an American muscle car there. Trying to get the extra track performance down towards the second hairpin. But Matable has held the place, taken to the grass on the inside, and behind him Jambo starts fishtailing. Unbelievably close, but he's managed to make that stick. But Jambo's not giving up, looking at turn 4. These guys are treating this like a touring car race here. They're not interested in driving like F1, and we're all loving it.
So how far is Mr. Ice Cold Andy ahead of these guys?
Yeah, I reckon he'll come not too far away from lapping them, to be honest, the way he's been driving. Meanwhile, on the street, Righteous Target's asking me how close is it to my trip to Japan. I actually fly out at the very start of February, but I will not be here for the next 2 races because I will be preparing my body clock for the other side of the world, so I will not actually be available, I'm afraid.
Hopefully we'll get a couple of more people, get some streaming stuff so we can cover. I know of someone that we're getting into the league who can stream, so they're all good to do it. So we've got one more person. I think he'll do GP3 this week, so that's good. And anyone who does want to stream.
And of course, if that person is watching out there tonight, I will say this. GP3 is where I made my debut covering the first Australia race a couple of seasons ago. Look at me now.
The king of F1 league streaming. The lead commentator in all of online motorsport is that's
in the meantime, XRL Bobbers getting close to the back of his F1 night. No, it's not F1, he's retired. XRL Lightning and the Mercedes there. So going through the final hairpin corner, XRL Bobbers going to get as close as he can here, but he's got a DRS active, he's saved all his curves, he's not used any on the opening straight. Oh, but in the meantime, Lightning started to lag, and Bobbers was very lucky not to go into the back of him there as a result of that. And all of a sudden, I wonder if you can see where Lightning really is. Because Bobbers might have the same problem LGS has been having, where he knows it's there, but doesn't know where he is.
Connection tonight, maybe.
On the stream, meanwhile, a couple of questions. Jonathan Saunders asking, will I be doing my vlogs in Japan? I'll certainly try to. There's a few things I need to do. In the meantime, also, John Saunders is also saying that apparently he'll be looking to get his PVR in February. So, if you are getting one, mate, they are very good pieces of gear, and you can have a lot of fun getting all your coverage of your races and also doing the streaming as well. So XRL Bombers and XRL Lightning are the closest guys on track at the moment, but XRL Lightning's car is bouncing all over the place. It's horrible to watch. It's hard to know exactly what line he's taking at the moment.
Oh, I think we've got people starting to come in for their final stops a bit further down the road. So that is
15 laps.
5 and up. So
That sounds about right, to be honest.
Jambo's in. Andy's done his. Andy is lapped the guys now.
Andy's just on a complete other planet today.
He will have to pit again. Andy will have to pit again.
In terms of a dry weather race, this is almost as dominant as Mark Webber's performance in 2009 at the Nürburgring. Absolutely sensational. And we've not really followed Nice Code on the old track, to be honest. We saw a couple of moves on the outside, but after that, there's just been no stopping the guy. He's literally had the hammer down all the way, and there's just been absolutely controlling the race. XRL Bobber's taking too much of the inside curve at turn 4 there. Got to be careful he doesn't get found guilty of corner cutting. Oh, and he's spun, and he's hit the wall! XRL Bobbers has made a catastrophic error, and has now lost out to XRL LGS as a result of that.
Oh, that is typical Bobberts all over. Every week we see Bobberts make an error that costs him a lot of time. Last week it was a puncture with a couple of laps to go, which cost him, I think, 5th last. The week before, I think turn 1 at Silverstone, which put him down from 2nd to about last.
Lewis Hamilton's just got out of the pitch now, and he's got the option tyres on, going for 14 laps on the options. Lower fuel, definitely doable, but he's going to have to work very hard. Behind him, the Paragon, the 125, he's on a fresh set of prime tyres. Now, will that be the intelligent strategy if those option tyres fade away in the final laps? This is going to be intriguing to watch.
F19 says, did we by any chance catch the overtake of the fast right-hander? Fast right-hander?
That would be turn 4 when he mugged Hamilton, I think. And the answer to that, I would think, is yes. I'm pretty sure I've got it.
I think I've got it on lap 19, was that? I think I've got that down. I can't remember if that's early. Nige, if you can remember a rough lap, I'll see if we got it.
I'm pretty sure that's the one he's talking about, because that's the turn 4, which is pretty fast. And he managed to catch Hamilton napping on the way inside to it. He pulled out of nowhere. And XRL Fearless is now in the box. And Mattable, if Mattable's on fresh tyres, he's going to easily get a drop on him here.
So I was on board.
Indeed he is. Fearless has got dropped down now. Jambo's gone through to P3. Where's Fearless going to come out? He's already been past the P4. And that, therefore, is Lewis Hamilton going through. How close is Paragon going to be to him?
Intriguing difference.
Very close indeed. Paragon's just gone through. But Hamilton in XRL Field, he's just made it into the corner behind by about 2 car lengths. Down in 6th place now.
Interesting difference in strategy for the guys in P2 and P3. We've got Jambo on the options and we've got Team Matable on the primes. We've got the same here for P5 and 6. We've got Paragon on primes and the options for Fearless. So each set of drivers are feeling different levels of tyre wear on their car.
Jambo's going to have it work cut out here though, because he's on the option tyre. He's quite a bit behind the Team Matable, and because he's on the options, he's going to have to push and therefore take more out of the tyres. Matable, meanwhile, has gone for a slightly more defensive strategy to try and use the stronger tyre and be able to get over the line. I think it's quite an intelligent thing to do.
Nige says it's the fast right hand before Sector 3 where Paragon and Felix just went through. Yes, I have a feeling it was. Can you remember who it was on? Was it on Team Matable? I think. I can't remember. Just let us know if you can remember. That should remind me if I got it or not.
On the stream, John Saunders and Riot's tag saying they can't wait for Wednesday night now. Well, I say we expect that kind of excitement from all the drivers.
Well, F5's been a bit low in numbers over the last couple of weeks, but as far as I'm aware, I think we're going to get a lot more drivers turn up, so happy days.
Right, XRL Fearless is all over the back of Paragon, the 125. He's got the DRS flap open, he's on the faster tyre, but Paragon's been able to hold it at bay here for now. But I'm going to ride on board with these two, because this is the closest sight that I can see. And what XRL Fearless really needs to do is get past it to play his curve. He's thinking about the outside turn 4, Roman Grosjean S. There's been contact, he's gone off. XRL Fearless really should have backed out of that sooner.
Yeah, he was nowhere near, he wasn't really even side by side, was he? So...
In the meantime, Motorsport Nerd's signing off. He's saying he's not watching anymore. Why? Stay to the end. And meanwhile, I think XRL Fearless has just had lag.
See it out to the end, man.
Well, that was a close duel, but I think Fearless has just got 5-second lag there. So all of a sudden, it's not a close duel anymore. That's a real pity. Moving further forward, third and second, Matable appears to actually be catching up to the back of X-Jambo. Wasn't Jambo behind Matable?
He was indeed.
So where did he get past him? And how has he got a gap so big?
I don't know. You would think Jambo's tyres would probably wear off by the end, so Jambo's got to make it work on those option tyres now.
You'd think so, but that seems a bit strange to me. Meanwhile, heading through turn 4, Matable once again going outside the lines. Obviously the game mustn't be giving the warning corner cutting, but that's not the point, it shouldn't need to, it's in the rules. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on about this all night, but I actually get really annoyed by it, because I see him get away with it in the real sport too much. I know a guy who marshals at Alton Park, and he actually got a driver black flagged in a GT race, because he kept on seeing his every race is on the radio going, car 22, cut the corner, cut the corner, cut the corner. And he got like 3 drive-throughs and eventually they black flagged him.
See, that's, well, it's not something we can really do, but we can definitely do certain things too.
Well, we can't black flag anyone because we've not got that powers. Now that'd be an interesting thing if you wanted to do for racing leagues. Have a stewards mode where you can actually go nuke and kick people out of the lobby to say you've been black flagged. But that'd be interesting. Of course, it'd get abused, so that's why it's not going to be in the game.
Yeah, Team Maxwell really dropped off the back of Jambo now. It's a good second in the last lap again. Jambo is flying on those options.
He's flying, but at the same time, Matable's tyres should be heading up to temperature. The newer tyres, so he should be able to push harder.
Lewis Hamilton's closing in on Team Matable here as well.
Exactly, it's very, very strange. Has he got settled that, like, for whatever reason, doesn't perform well on low fuel? I remember on the last game, if you were driving for Williams online, you had tons of grip on high fuel, but then it disappeared in the final third of the race. I wonder if he's somehow got a setup that does the same kind of thing here.
Well, this is good for Lewis Hamilton. The gap in the championship between him and Nigel will be cut down from, I believe it was 21 points. Now it will only be, I believe,
9, because he's on for 12 points. He's on for 12 points at the moment, so he's on for 9.
9 points the gap. So second and third closing in, and Nandi will have a 41-point lead after today's race because F1 Nigel not finishing, and I think F1 Nigel will be hoping for Andy not to finish the race sometime soon, but he's in good form.
Indeed, he is. XRL Fearless is getting closer to the back of Paragon, the 125. He's not close enough for DRS at this moment, but he does seem to have a little more confidence in the car. Providing that he gets the same performance from his connection and doesn't lag again, he may well be over the back of that Ferrari and pushing him to the end. So the David Horn can't count those 10 points as his yet, because he's going to be under pressure within the next 2 laps, I wager. Right, the ball with Fearless going through turn 3. That gap's definitely come down as it comes to the end of sector 1 and onto turn 4 here. And once again, Paragon going totally outside the lines of the track there. Nowhere near the limit of the rules.
But yeah, Fearless is really starting to close in on those option tyres. But what I was going to do is have a quick roundup of who's where. We've got
Go-
Andy
go ahead.
in the lead, and his lap time being 1.1 seconds quicker than his teammate in P2, so it's a Force India 1-2 currently as it was in qualifying. Team Mathematical in P3 doing a great job. Lewis Hamilton probably starting to close the gap. His fastest lap is 7/10 quicker than Team Mathematical, so that could become quite close near the end. The Paragon on his debut in P5, but under pressure from XRL Fearless in 6th, with Fearless's teammate LGS in P7. FTR Senna on debut has got himself into P8 and respectable, quite respectable in comparison to everyone else. With Bobbert and Lightning.
Sorry to cut across you, but Fearless has got the DRS flap open. He's deployed the curse, and he's gone right past Paragon like he wasn't there. Into the braking zone. Paragon's hit the back of the car though at turn 1, but has managed to avoid hitting him off the track, and XRL Fearless is through.
Now the question is, can those options hold on? Same with Jambo. But that battle for the podiums is getting rather quite close. Lewis Hamilton's closed onto Team Matable, and Jambo's not pulled a massive gap. In fact, I would say he's being closed in slightly over the last lap or so.
Yeah. But he's got to be careful, really, because like at the end of the day, Jambo can't afford to push too hard and get too much graining on those tyres. At the same time, though, Matable can't afford to be stuck behind Jambo and let the turbulent air destroy his tyres. It's a total game of chess here, and who's going to move their queen into the check position earliest?
Oh, okay. Many people to talk to after the race. Maybe no practice or people, we'll see.
Oh, yes, will be a long night in the steward's office. Moving further forward, we do have a bit of a duel going on here. At least it looks like. Yeah, Hamilton is now all over the back of Team Matable. That gap has disappeared, but Hamilton, no DRS again. Has he had that problem and it's not gone away?
Issue, whenever he's had DRS, he's just had that issue. Is he just not opening it, or that would be silly if he
I really doubt that. He'll know how to use DRS in the F1 division. Thinking on the inside of turn 4, far too ambitious and rubbish there. And he's hit the back of Team Matable, and Matable's gone off the track. Hamilton's through. Well, if Hamilton doesn't get that place back, he's going to be staring down a penalty for sure. And indeed, Hamilton's not stopping, so I don't believe this, but we've got another incident to investigate. Lap 64.
30 laps since the last one.
I do have to say, while there's been some really close dueling and some really nice moves, some of the standards of driving in this race today has been shocking.
We set ourselves rather high standards, but we need to. This is the top division.
It's not the top division, but it's one of the best. It's one of the best leagues. We got the viewers on the screen and everything tell us that everyone really gets entertained by proper racing. Look at Matable and Jambo earlier on when they were dueling fairly. Look at that move by Ice Cold Andy to be able to keep his position at turn 1 at the start of the race. Look at F1 Nige with that move he done on Hamilton. XRL Fearless' double overtake. Absolutely sensational stuff. And then all of those memories are tarnished by people hitting the back of each other, not listening to the track limits, and generally not playing by the game's rules.
I'm sorry,
but I find it. I find it disgraceful driving. I find it absolutely disgraceful.
Hopefully, we can set a better standards tomorrow night for you, Pete, with me and. Like
As I say, all leagues, whether you're F1 or F5000 or the 80-25% race, we expect nothing but the best. Because as far as I'm concerned, this community is one of the best, and we should pride ourselves on that.
Yeah, Team Matable just can't close that gap now since he lost it to Lewis Hamilton at the last lap.
Indeed, Matable is now under big pressure, actually, because behind him in 5th place. Actually, no, he's not. I think that's Ice Cold Andy.
Oh, okay.
Ice Cold Andy is looking to lap 4th place. And he's only a few seconds behind 3rd and 2nd. Is Ice Cold Andy going to do a Mika Hakkinen and lap the field?
See, these drivers aren't bad. It's just Andy's just absolutely nailed it this week.
Because to say you're a minute and 20 seconds faster than the field over a race distance is something else.
What is that?
Absolutely supreme.
It's about a second a lap. It's a second a lap. is what it is. And
Yeah,
Team
it's a
Askell's
second
gone.
lap.
Team Askell's now a lap down on the rest. Or just
Yep.
on Andy, sorry.
And Andy now is only a few corners adrift of ex-Lewis Hamilton, and also, crucially, his teammate. Can you imagine that in the pit garage? You know, they always say the best indicator of your performance is how you get on to your teammate. If your teammate laps you, ow, is all I have to say.
Pete, how was GP2 last week? As like stewarding the race, and how was it?
It was fine.
Was it a good race?
It was a good race. LGS said he sent you the report, so...
Yeah, he did. I just wanted to see like what you thought of it. Good race.
The only problem with it... Yeah, it was a really good race to watch for that. Very, very good race. The only problem was the sound issue, which I've now identified, and so far there's been no mention of it tonight's stream, so fingers crossed. And for tomorrow night, we'll have the same repeat of tonight, and you'll have crystal clear sound from me and LGS, who will join me in the box.
Right, let's go up the field for P3 and 2, who are going to get lapped at this rate.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ice Cold Andy now, they're just going into the chicane, that's 4 seconds maybe?
No, not even that. Not even that, it's about 2.
And of course, we saw before when he was lapping XRL Lightning, how that caused problems and he almost got sideswiped. And Lewis Hamilton was retired.
I think he probably realised he couldn't get any better than P10. There's just parked the car up. Not really great, come on, there's 4 more laps to go, if that.
Yeah, I suppose, but still. Oh, Ice Cold Andy's closing in at a rate of knots here now. Absolutely, I mean, I'm actually going to, just out of curiosity, why are you on board with Ice Cold Andy? Yeah, he's about 2 seconds adrift. He's not in the DRS zone yet, but he's not far off it.
Well, he's on lap 69, remember, so he's got just under 2 laps. He's got this and 1 more to lap the field, and that would be a record in itself. I don't think we've had that.
No, I'm not familiar with that myself. Those of you who ran our XMR races on the streams, if you are aware of us getting that wrong, call us out. And Jumbo and Hamilton, once again, totally going nowhere near the racing line for turn 4. In fact, I'm going to ride on board with Ice Cold Andy here. And that's Lewis Hamilton now is right close to the back of Jumbo.
He's really starting to close, isn't he?
I think he's going to try and have a go into the hairpin here.
Oh, hold
If
back,
Jumbo's drifting a little wide. Yeah, he's drifting a little wide. Oh, once again, came so close to the back of each other. But they've now got the problem because they're going to be getting the blue flags here, surely. Surely the blue flags are going to be waving now. Because Ice Cold Andy has got to be less than a second ago on these guys now.
Right,
Yeah, DRS flap over Ice Cold Andy.
DRS? There's no DRS for Lewis Hamilton again, but he's going to make the move
But
on the inside.
He's gone on the inside. Is Jumbo going to get the switch back here? I think he's going for it. Kurza's deployed, but he's had to stop to let his teammate through.
That's actually...
But now Hamilton to do the same, and Jumbo thinking about the outside of turn 2. That would have been opportunistic, but he's got away with it. And Ice Cold Andy sensationally has lapped the field. He's passed everyone.
Well, that makes writing the results quite easy, because you don't have to worry about doing like 10.674 seconds or something silly like that. We just put 1 lap for everyone.
The only problem is they've got 2 incidents where drive-thrus might need to be deleted.
That's a good point.
And now Hamilton's wheeling on the track, but the thing is, he only has to defend for this lap, because they've been lapped. So Jumbo's got to get past now, or Lewis Hamilton, remarkably, is going to take 2 turns. Hamilton has done everything he needed to on a last lap down there move to make it work. And Ice Cold Andy, Hamilton's unlapped himself because Ice Cold Andy's gone offline. Now, if Ice Cold Andy had...
He's meant to
Who was that?
He's meant to try and give Jambo a chance, I think, but they can't quite work because Jambo's not lapped. He is
Someone
lapped.
was off the... On my screen, someone was off the track. Who is that?
I don't know.
At the final corner, there's someone off the track. Who's that?
I haven't got anyone there. I think it's just you.
I'm just cycling back. I've got XRL Lightning there.
Ooh, Lewis Hamilton's got 20 seconds, but...
And he's just turned round now. Viewers, you're watching this.
Who is it?
Lightning's only just turned around. I've got XRL Lightning, but he's driving into the walls. And now he's driving into the pit wall. I'm riding on board because this is comical, but he's going to unbelievably get passed by someone here. Now he's driving the one way on the track. Okay,
I've and Bobbert saying the cars were lagging all over the place and that a ghost car was parked on an apex and Twickenham.
That's the ghost car, XRL Lightning. That was the ghost car.
See, we've had that. Apparently, it's particularly bad at Bahrain.
Ex-Lewis Hamilton is ghosting on my screen now, and he's spinning at turn 2.
Oh, he's just about to go over the line. He's the last one to go over the line.
Well, he's not gone across the line on my screen.
Well,
Oh, no, he has. Oh, he's got a penalty! 20 seconds